Hey, Andy.
Sorry if you hear any noise in the background. I've got my window open because it's nice and cool this morning because it rained and it stormed yesterday and
Yeah.
now there are
I
cars.
think the rain just came here.
Oh, we had like massive storms.
Oh, rain came here also. Just like barely though, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, so I was telling Mint a story.
Yes.
Um, so I went to a Comic Con and I was in the bathroom and so I walk out, go to the sinks. I was about 4 sinks away from this person. And they're like the classic um socially awkward transgender with, the pixie cut hair and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, I'm just minding my own business, trying to get out of there, and because like it was packed and it smelled disgusting. But they asked me, "What are you supposed to be?"
No,
Like,
not right now.
they were like, "What are you supposed to be?" Like that, kind of like emotionless.
Wait, wait,
And I
wait,
was
wait.
wearing
He
a
asked
bomber
you.
jacket. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and I was just wearing the Overwatch bomber jacket.
Mm.
So I said, "Oh, I'm just wearing an Overwatch jacket," And so we stand there for about 5 seconds, and they're like, "Oh, I've been washing this off my arm for like 20 minutes now," and they're washing this red paint off their arm. Like their arm is like extremely red,
Damn.
like aggressively. And I was like, "Oh, what did you have on your arm?" They're like, "I was a no, huh? I'm gonna do it in like the way they said, I was a cyborg."
Wow.
And it kind of, I can't remember the exact things of the conversation,
Team
but they were
fight.
like, "I have 3 more cosplays I'm gonna do." I was like, "Oh, cool, cool, cool." And then, how it was just like an awkward conversation from there.
Okay, but like first up, if it's gonna take forever for someone to wash off, say, a past cosplay and they're planning on doing more than one on the same day, they should know to do ones which are going to be easy to change into on the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it just makes more sense that way.
Yeah.
Booga booga.
No, but like, oh yeah, and I remember, I, so over the summer, I was looking to cosplay a person, so I was looking up pictures on the web, like on Yahoo and stuff, of like people who did it. And so I saw this one person, and no offense, it was one of the I'm not trying to be, mean, but like they really didn't try. And I thought it was kind of like a joke.
Mm.
I later find their Instagram page. I'm like, oh my god, they're like a Tokyo Ghoul freak.
Really?
Major obsessed, yeah. And so I go to the con, and I was like, wait a second, is that person we saw on Google? Like,
Mm.
it was kind of like, we thought it was a joke. We found Instagram and they were kind of like, holy shit, it's that person. I don't know, it just felt weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you've seen them before and they don't particularly look like a certain way, but then like you see them in real life and, you know, it's, from the way that you're describing them, they do sound like a snowflake.
Well, that's a different person that I just
I know,
talked about now.
but,
But like, oh yeah, the person before, yeah. They were mainly talking about like their cosplays that they were doing. They didn't tell me the characters.
No?
Like even though I asked, yeah.
Well, if you're doing a cosplay, and obviously you would expect someone to go, oh, okay, who are you? Not what are you, but a who are you?
Yeah.
And so you'd go, oh, I'm such and such from such and such. And then you talk about you doing the cosplay, or if you know that it's not that greatly done, you might even go, yeah, it's not the best, but, I'm trying, and I just wanted to do something. Like, that's how I would say it. Not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just this thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was just very, very awkward. it was. I mean, it's not like talking to your ex or finding your ex in the same line as you at Starbucks or something like that.
Oh, well, I mean,
This
I've
is
only had like one, and he I will gladly murder. So it's like,
yeah, my boyfriend's just majorly depressed now. We literally got off of school on Tuesday.
mm,
Yeah, well, I mean, there is a lot of people who go to like whenever I go to cons in North Carolina, literally same vendors, same cosplayers almost, because I recognize some of them.
mm,
But I mean, yeah, there's more. I mean, the first con I went to, which was SuperCon. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Probably
no.
not. But there was a vendor selling LGBT, trans flags, stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay. We should go. That's
And there
that's
was
pretty
like,
cool.
yeah, but there was like so many people wearing the flags on their back. Like I didn't expect that many people. But and there was also somebody. I don't mean to be, but there was kind of a chunky person wearing a trainer bra and very short shorts with a Deku wig and like you could tell terribly done splatted on freckles
Yeah.
with a transgender flag on their back. I mean, do what you want to do. Like I'm not against that. Express yourself. But maybe try to put on a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, like, regardless if they're chunky or anything, I've noticed a lot, like, today, a lot of females especially, are not wearing clothes, it seems. Like, they're just wearing, basically, a bra and maybe shorts, and they go, oh yeah, I'm fully clothed. And that I just get really infuriated with, because it's kind of like, you're out in public, and,
Be
like,
honest.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you shouldn't be dressing like this out in public, because so many bad things can happen. And
Oh yeah.
and they were just like, yeah, they go, my body, my choice. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's stupid because, yes, it's your body, your choice. But then they're the same people that once someone does anything to them, like they sexually harass them or anything, they go, oh my god, I've been raped or I've been sexually harassed. When it's like,
Yeah. And,
no, you literally provoked them.
yeah. And so I mean, I've had my fair share. I don't know if you guys had. I'm pretty sure you probably have at least a few times in your life, like old men staring at you.
Well, I personally haven't, but that's mainly because I don't dress typically female.
I don't dress inappropriately at all.
Mm.
Wear jackets, that cover me because this happened a few times and I literally this happened after one day like I had a few good friends online, like a group,
Mm.
and we would talk like a lot. We were like they were funny. But one of them turned out to be major incel.
Major what?
And incel.
What does that mean?
It's like a guy, he's not like 100% incel. I'll explain that in a second. But like,
Incel,
you could tell he's going to
oh.
become one. But they're like, yeah, but he was like one of those who like hates women and only wants, you could tell he was on the point of becoming an incel because he talked about like, okay, this is very sensitive, so I'm sorry if this, like he talked about like raping me and doing things, and he was, his other friend who's trying to, yeah, it's kind of what he thought, and he's really creepy. Like I didn't talk to him as much as the other people online, but I definitely talked to him.
Gotta be
quite a
muted.
bit. But like
Gee, okay.
he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna like beat her. She doesn't do this. I'm gonna pin her down and do all this stuff." And like it sounded so nasty. And oh yeah, I've been on there before. But his other friend, who is literally my sister's best friend right now,
Mm.
like he is that person who you know, tries to keep everybody, you know, from arguing, or if he knows something bad's gonna happen, you know,
Yeah.
like if he knows that this person, you know, who was talking about me like that, makes a new friend, the guy,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say their name. Papo was the guy who was very,
Yeah.
he talked about rape, and then Laurel is the one who is literally like, trying to keep him from inceldom or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, he instantly became friends with me after, and I didn't know this, but like, Papo would mute his mic and tell Laurel, like, oh my god, she sounds so hot, and stuff like that.
Boy, that's a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
it's like it's understandable if you're saying, "Oh, dude, this person sounds hot" and all that stuff. If it's like you are genuinely interested in them and not in a creepy way.
We're both 14, and they are in their. I don't know how old they are, but they're older.
Damn.
But like, where's I at? Where's I at? So he was, saying stuff behind the mic, and
Yeah, especially if you're older, would
Where else-
be weird.
oh yeah, and when I first talked to him, like, I thought he was joking when he was talking. He's like, "Hi, are you a girl?" And I thought he was joking because he sounded like that person,
Yeah. I mean,
and socially awkward. He wasn't joking. He was actually like,
confused.
like, yeah, why a girl was talking to him. But like after I was told that, and then the same day, this other girl, who is my boyfriend's ex, was like, "Oh yeah, he was still messaging saying he loves me and stuff." Oh my god, that
Wait,
like what?
who? Sorry, I was in a call.
No, I was saying this girl was telling me that my boyfriend at the time, we literally just started talking, but he was still talking to his ex saying, "Oh yeah, I still love you" and stuff like that, even though he like talked trash about her.
Yeah. Which is like, if you're talking trash about someone, why would you then turn
Yeah,
around?
but like I have access to his Instagram account, so if he's saying anything,
Mm.
And then the girl,
I just picked up a shit.
his ex will normally tell me this stuff because we're friends. I know that sounds weird.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah, but like, and that just like is so much. Like, I know it doesn't sound like a lot coming from, just me saying it. But you put yourself in that place,
Yeah.
like, holy shit, I was. Like, I legit didn't. I stopped talking to all my online friends. Like, man, I would have talked to you more, but I was literally like so, And then after that, I started getting like so like emotionally drained. Like, if I talked to somebody for over like 3 or 4 hours, I would have to
Yeah.
go take a nap. Like, that's how bad it got.
And that's kind of like,
I mean,
it's sad that people always seem to have bad experiences on the internet with other people.
yeah, I wish it had to be like that. And the same week, like, my dad literally beat the shit out of me.
Jeez.
So, I mean, it's gotten better now,
Mm.
thankfully. My teacher had to tell my dad, like, do his parent-teacher conferences, and like, my teacher could tell, like,
Yeah.
that something was up. And so he told my dad literally the best things that he could say.
What was
And then
it like?
after that, it got so much better. Like, my dad calls me a lazy ass all the time. And it's
Yeah.
like, he's like, you never apply yourself to anything. Like, and I'm not the brightest kid. I'm not as smart as my sister. Because I don't really, I value my, like, health and,
Mm.
my art and stuff over my education. I still get A's and B's.
Yeah.
It's not like I get F's or anything. but like, I just value other things over education.
Sorry,
and
but like, just real quick, a creeper just blew up in my sheep farm, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. And so now I've just got like dead sheep. But he also killed my only rabbit.
do you want me to respawn one for you? Because that's not fair.
I don't know. I mean, because I have to go back and get
Well, too bad. I'm going to your thing. No, I
have to like go
No, but,
and
like-
get another rabbit anyway.
well, whatever. I'm giving you another round. Fucking yeah.
Okay, no, but like after he told my dad that, like, he started being so much more respectful.
Mm.
Yeah, don't mind this for a second.
Oh.
I hope
There
Dex
you go. Where was your rabbit?
in this small
Was your
town.
rabbit? There you
Thank
go.
you.
There's your fucking black ass rabbit.
I hope
And
Dex
how
also
much-
recorded. Oh no, it doesn't matter about the sheep. Because
Oh,
I
it
already
doesn't matter?
Yeah, I already got every single color of the sheep. Like both Dex, or all Dex, Dawson and I got a single color of the sheep.
How about I just, get another fucking egg and like, well, there you go. What? What happened? What the? Oh.
Go to the jungle.
Yeah,
There's a warp
Yeah.
there. There's a warp to a jungle if you need brown.
yeah, because
It took
Yeah,
Sloth
because-
an hour and 20 minutes to find it.
yeah, so we didn't want others to do that, so we just put a warp to jungle.
Yeah.
Like it took a shitload of time.
Oh man, this just reminded me. So for Christmas, my boyfriend gave me the gifts early because we were probably not gonna.
The manga Bible.
Yeah, and
Wait,
also, so his initials. Yeah, he gave me a Bible. It's basically a manga Bible. It's not like the actual Bible. It's like
Bible, but anime.
artist. No. It's like 100 manga artists on the back. It's like your
Ah.
personal manga Bible, stuff like that. But his initials or his name is Nathan Yarborough, and you know how his initials are NY.
Mm.
He got me a shirt that says "I love New York."
Oh my god. Okay, that's actually kind of like
It's clever.
yeah. It's like I always say to Dex, maybe he was born to be a DJ because that's what his initials are. And not even that,
You know,
it's like
my-
his middle name starts with J as well. So it's like even if he was just going off his middle name, it'd be DJ. Going off his last name, DJ.
Oh yeah. No, I have the worst initials. Okay, so I don't like it when people get me monograms. I say, look, if you're gonna get me a monogram, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
What's a
Because
monogram?
you know how they put it's like where they get your initials and they put your first name and then your last name and then your middle name, like initials.
Oh yeah.
It's like an American. You've seen this before, right?
American bitches.
Yeah. So my aunt, I love her to death, but she got me one, and so let's put this together. I'm gonna put my initials. I'm just gonna put like abbreviations in my name. Okay. So that's, my name.
Mm.
How would it be in a monogram?
S and T, wouldn't it? ST.
STN. Put A's in between those.
Say
And then
Oh, what the fuck?
I feel like I meant to do that.
See, it's like I would absolutely love it if that was how it was for me. Like I would tell people, dude,
I mean,
Mom
it's
get me
edgy
it.
as fuck, which, hey.
Your mom loved you very dearly.
Totally, she didn't. She totally loved me. She didn't accidentally burn me with a cigarette a few times. No.
oh,
Your mom didn't love you.
Wow.
that's a bit abrupt.
I changed my mind.
Nah, she did. She's accidentally burned me with a cigarette a few times.
It's
She'd
like,
throw them out the window, and there was a tiny little crack, and they would come in. And,
oh, like in the car or something.
yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times, like with my mum smoking in the car.
Mhm.
It's like, I used to have a fear that I'd find someone, like maybe one of my friends or something, and they'd have like cigarette burns on their arm, because I used to just be very fearful of other people being like hurt and abused and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But like, it's never happened.
I'm eating French fries. Well, I'm not eating French fries. I made my brother fucking drive all the way to somewhere, and then I realized he didn't need to because he called me, and then I asked for French fries,
Lamau.
and then he was like, he was mad at me, and then I asked for French fries, and I was like, okay, I'll give you French fries.
Okay, sorry.
It's all G. I mean, it's like
Okay, so I'm hearing something really
8
fucking
a.m.
awesome.
over here.
Shit! What is it? Fucking 10. Okay.
Typing intensifies.
Can you just turn this down?
My rhythm's already like down pretty low, Lamau.
I fucking hate you.
Oh, I have a
I
bad
love
feeling
you
about
guys
this.
very much. Huh?
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
Lovely.
Very bad.
It's still loud on 1%.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume back up.
I don't even know what
Give
I
me
have to do for the
Monster High
challenges.
too. Monster High.
Dude.
Shit. Oh man, I don't.
I have so many Monster High dolls that I need to sell.
I remember like a few years ago, I got for Christmas like a doll and
Like, Mint, does that surprise you now, seeing that how I turned out?
yeah, you wear like makeup in almost all of your fucking.
I swore to myself that I would never, like in 4th grade, I said I'm never wearing makeup. Makeup is, you know, just disgusting.
Guys,
Look at
only
me
want
now,
one
bitch.
thing, and it's effing disgusting.
I legit turned out the way I said I wouldn't.
I mean, for me, I've gone, I'm not going to wear makeup, and the only times I've worn makeup is because it's been put on me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I've learned how to do it, and, like, I don't know, it's just
I mean,
muscle
mind you,
memory now.
only times that I've actually worn it, once was for my year 10 formal, and Mum put makeup on me, and I absolutely hated it, because at that time, it was really bad timing for me, because I had literally just come out to my whole entire year as, like, non-binary, and my mum was like, oh, you know, let's put makeup on you. And she kept saying, because I wore like a button-up shirt and everything, she kept calling me like a boy and all that stuff, so it was like really bad timing. And then there's only been one other time after that, and that was for her wedding, where I was forced into a dress. But I was like, you know, it's understandable for me to be put in a dress because it's her wedding. But like, they're the only times I've ever worn it, and I absolutely hated every bit because for some reason, Mum wanted us to have like cinnamon lipstick on or something, and it's like it smelled nice, it smelled amazing because I love cinnamon. But the thing is, it burned. It literally burns your lips.
Oh yeah, isn't it supposed to make your like, and pepper like supposed to make your lips like more plump or something?
Yeah, it would be because
Dude, why would
it's triggering the inflammatory system.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know, but I didn't even do it to myself. Like, it was put on by a professional makeup artist.
I've had my lips swell up like that, and it's terrible. It doesn't look good.
It's more so that they had very tiny bits of it in there, so it wasn't going to swell up like you got stung by a bee. It was just like a slight swelling.
Yeah. No, it feels terrible. And it makes your lips crack up and stuff.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
It's funny though, because once the wedding itself was over and like the dinner was over, and it was like, okay guys, we can just like mingle around, I ran to my room to get changed into like my clothes. And mind you, my clothes were like a band t-shirt. I had emo hair at the time, so I went from this kid dressed up in a dress and like girl into this emo rat wearing band merch, you know, ripped jeans and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
People didn't recognize me, and because it was cold, I also had my leather jacket on, and people were like, "Wait, which one were you?" And I'm like, "I was the one in the green dress," and like, "Oh, the one who looked unhappy the whole entire time." And I was like,
"Oh,
yeah," because like, I don't wear dresses or skirts because I do get body dysphoria. And I feel intensely, like, it hurts. It physically hurts me to be in a dress. And it's like, it annoys me because people want me to be in dresses and all that stuff. But I mean, like, because Dex and I have had to talk about it. Because, you know, as you do when you're in relationships, you talk about your future together and all that stuff. He was just like, I want you to be in a dress for our wedding. And so we've kind of like come to the compromise that I'll be in a dress for the wedding, but I'll be in a suit for the reception. So then that way it's like, when we get photos done, we can also have photos that we will both love and enjoy. Because I know that if I get photos in a dress, I will not be happy looking at my wedding photos. Because I'll see myself in a dress and that will ruin everything. But if I see photos where I'm in a dress, but then there's also photos where I'm in a suit, that would make me happy. Because then, it's like, I'm, you know, it's something that Dex and I have done. We've gotten married, for Christ's sake. And that's like the only reason why I'm going to actually wear a dress for the wedding, is because he wants it, and I can, you know, focus on that, and focus on the fact that, you know, he wants me to wear a dress. He wants me to be in a dress. So I can do it for him.
Yeah.
Who joined? Who joined? Oh, Rhythm joined, I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, I think my brother's here. Oh.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh.
Bel-Air. I never watched it.
I haven't watched it, but it's like, from what I've heard, it's pretty lit.
Yeah, it's like just average 90s American show.
I mean, before we graduated, everyone in my year, like for one day when we had markup day, we were just like constantly screaming memes. So like, this came up quite a few times.
I'm back.
Hello, I'm back. Wait, no, hello, back.
I'm dead.
Samantha, I kind of messed up the rule with French fries, but let's not talk about it with a male.
No.
What?
It's fine. You'll just feel like shit.
Rule with
Yeah, I'll
French
get
fries.
stomach cramps. I don't care. I'll get stomach cramps whenever I want. Hey, you know there's a zombie in your Oh, what happened?
Oh, whoa.
Nothing. What happened?
Whoa. Dude, that's actually so good.
That's so good.
Somebody made Yuri pancake. Wait.
Mm.
Ah.
Didn't.
This show. I'm actually gonna watch.
Stop! Why is the skeleton so mean to me?
I was gonna say, someone's like invis. Yeah.
Dude, I kind of want it to overflow. So I can get some minnows for the turtles.
Typing intensifies. Typing intensifies.
You guys want to do Bed Wars?
Sure. I mean, like, the stuff that I have left to do is, like, link everything with minecarts, finish the village in the trees, do, like, some sort of defense around the house, which it's like, I can pretty much just put a chest with arrows and bows in it, and it's kind of done. Because I've got my obsidian tower, I've got, like, a spot on top of the animal farm which we have access to, so it's kind of easy to have, like, a defense around the home. And then there's also, like, collect 10 ghast tears and go to the end, and that's about it. And I'd rather collect 10 ghast tears with my other teammates, because then we can all kind of, like, you know, kill the ghast. Oh yeah, also, with the collect 10 ghast tears, that is a team challenge. So, if your team, so basically if you and Sloth both have, like, collectively 10 ghast tears, you complete the challenge, both of you. But like, say with Nova, because she's by herself, she has to collect 10 ghast tears completely by herself. Or she can ask the help for one of us, where we maybe just, like, don't even hit the ghast and just try and draw it in. But yeah, it's a team challenge thing, so you guys have already got 3 as far as I know.
Oh.
Yeah, Sloth got 3 of them.
Who joined? Oh, hey. These Burger King fries suck ass. I hate it.
Well, last thing you
Burger
want
King,
in a Burger King.
it only tastes good out of America. I'm being honest.
See, we don't have Burger King here in Australia, but your Burger King is basically our Hungry Jack's. And it does taste good.
Oh.
Well,
Well, these suck ass and I hate them.
Burger King? I don't like it in America, but I had it in the Cayman. Let me just say, America has some explaining to do. And I don't know why. Ice cream in the Caymans, even at fast food restaurants, even though there's like one of each, tastes better than in America.
Maybe because there is only one of each, they have to like try and outdo each other.
I don't know, maybe it's the kind of milk they use or something.
Maybe. I mean, it might be like
I feel
nice.
bad for anyone who doesn't like McDonald's fries.
See, McDonald's fries are like, if you don't like them, then how, like they're the most generic fries that literally anyone should be able to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
I'll only
obsidian
eat
tag
fries
is
at a
super
certain size. I'll only eat fries at a certain size.
Really?
Yeah.
Piggy.
You know,
okay, do you have a Chick-fil-A where you live?
Nope.
Man.
I don't know. Probably somewhere out of my city.
Yeah, because like, dude, they actually have the best fries. They can top McDonald's.
Okay, the fast food things that we have here in Australia, we have McDonald's. We
Macca's.
have, yeah, Macca's. We've got Macca's. We've got KFC. Hungry Jack's.
Macca's sounds boring.
Macca's.
It sounds boring. We call it Mickey.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, McDonald's, that's 3 syllables. Mickey D's. You're not shortening it by calling it Mickey D's, but Macca's. It's so much shorter.
I know, but
McDonald's.
Mickey D's? Ew. But Macca's? Yes. Also, I can't even think of any other fast food stuff that we have, really.
I think
Red
only
Rooster.
old people call McDonald's Mickey D's.
We have Red Rooster. Do you guys have like a Red Rooster?
No.
Okay, Red Rooster is like, chicken. Like they mainly just do chicken. So it's kind of like KFC, except Red Rooster is just not that great.
Oh god, I'm lagging so bad.
Yeah, I've died. I'm trying to respawn, but it won't let me respawn.
Oh shit! What happened?
So we all get
It
kicked?
timed out. It says it's still online, but I'm not sure.
Can we just restart it?
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm logging in.
Yeah, I just restarted it like right now.
Alright.
Let's see if that works. Dude, man, I'm actually so proud of the eyes I did here. I don't think I've ever been more proud of a face I've done, actually.
What?
Go on my story. Where even is
On
my phone?
Instagram?
Yeah.
I can't. Well, I can do it on the computer, but I just don't.
An existing connection was forcibly closed by the remote host.
Let's see, Samantha. What was your second username?
Oh my god, please stop.
Adorable Dino.
Oh. Okay, that's just precious though.
To be honest,
Hey, I'm back on.
I don't even. I don't want to talk about my past. I don't want to talk about my past.
Why not?
Oh god, it's lagging again.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that. Not that. I was such a big weeaboo back then.
How are you such a big weeaboo when I asked you if you like Tokyo Ghoul because your username was Seto Takizawa and you're like, who?
Oh, that was my old account.
I know.
That was my account.
And she was just like, who? And I was here like,
Dude, he's
I don't watch
precious
anime as
until
much
He is.
now, but I was such a
until
big
Tokyo Ghoul.
weeaboo in
He was my. I fucking love him.
I still love him, even though, like, things happen to him.
I know, I
still
do
love him.
too.
Oh, sick,
But
got a bow.
okay, when he was carrying Motto, it's fucking like I don't know. When Motto's spirit is life, like it actually like touched me.
Yeah. Okay, well,
It doesn't. But I'm waiting to read the manga. I steal it from my friend.
actually, you can read it. There's a manga browser thing, like an app. I've got an Android. I have it. And I read the manga. So, like, the anime for Re is actually pretty much close to the manga. But the main thing for Re, you gotta just keep in mind that this is set a number of years after.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years.
It's set after he was like Kaneki was killed. So Heist is Kaneki. It's if you don't know that, you were kind of stupid.
Oh, I knew that. Oh yeah,
but the thing
I've
is-
known that like 2 years before I watched or the show came out.
Yeah,
Came out.
because that manga was coming out, like, it was straight after Tokyo Ghoul itself came out. Now, basically,
Oh. What's
What
crashing
happened?
the server?
what happened is
That server's so nice.
they reformed him. So
Yeah.
they made him forget about his past and everything, and every single time that he, broke out, they would destroy his brain or, like, certain parts of his brain, and just essentially reset him. And they tried making him, like, the leader of their Quink squad, which they were then like, well, we can actually take this as, like, as a tool to fight the ghouls, so we're not going to be so outmatched. Which it makes a lot of sense that way and everything. It just, they haven't got to the part where they're explaining it yet, I don't think, in the anime. Or if they have, it's, like, poorly explained, because I haven't watched the anime for Re, mainly because I haven't had time to, like, get it. But there's, like, one person in the Quink squad, like the original Quink squad, that I really, really liked. And it was kind of sad when something happened. And
Jersey?
yeah.
Yep.
But
Dude,
it's
I
like,
fucking love how they designed him.
oh yeah.
He was a beautiful being.
Mm.
Let me just say.
I only watch season or whatever.
See, it's like, Route A is nothing like
Oh my god,
like the
it's
manga.
lagging again. Okay, does somebody use a command block or something?
A command block? I don't even know.
But yeah, it's like, Route A was nothing like the manga, which is why I don't particularly like Route A, because, like, I'm just gonna say this right now, Hide did not die at all how he did in Route A.
He didn't die. He's still in the read.
Okay, well, it's explained in Re, because I was reading the manga.
Oh, it's not really explained in Re. He just shows up.
No, it's explained. So
Oh.
what happened is that there's a certain someone, like, the person who doesn't talk, he kind of looked like
Scarecrow.
yeah, the scarecrow. He is Hide, and the thing is,
Yeah.
he shows up, like, he can't talk and all that stuff. But the main reason why he can't talk is because when Kaneki was gonna go fight, what's
He
his fate,
fucking ate
white
his
man,
face.
yeah, he ate his face.
No, but like he actually talks. That's the thing. Like, he doesn't talk in his scarecrow, but after that,
he prefers
he
not
does
to talk. Because I think at that stage it was still healing. Because if you think about it,
Yeah.
Kaneki went full ghoul and didn't really care about Hide himself, because he was that demented and twisted. And Hide knew that. Hide knew that if he let Kaneki eat him, he probably wasn't going to come back from it. And Hide was fine with that. Which is why I absolutely love Hide. I cried when I thought Hide was dead. I cried.
Oh, didn't we all?
Like, even just when it came to, like, Route A, even when they were carrying Hide and all that stuff, I was crying. Because it's like, even though that's not how it happened in the manga, because in the manga he just didn't show up again, I think it was okay, the fact that at the end of Route A, Kaneki was carrying Hide to them like, hey, this is someone, like, this is one of yours, type thing. But that's nothing like how it happened. And, like, that just infuriates me, because, like, I was crying because I was sad because Hide died again in a different way. And I was also crying because I was frustrated that the anime was nothing like the manga. But the thing is, the Scarecrow dude, he shows up right after Hide's dead. Like, he's introduced right after Hide dies, pretty much. And it's like, I understand that they had to introduce him as a character, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen in the manga, but in the anime, the Scarecrow dude is like the one that rips out one of the ghouls' tongue or something and sends it to someone. Like, I'm pretty sure that was in the anime. And I'm like, Hide doesn't do that.
Wait, what?
Hide is too pure for
No,
that.
I don't think. No, I don't remember him doing that.
And yeah, I don't remember him doing that in the manga, but the Scarecrow dude
He
did
didn't do
it.
that in the anime.
Well, it happened somewhere, unless it was maybe a different person. But someone, like, ripped off someone's tongue, which, it's like, this person seemed
Was
too
it
twisted.
that guy, the really creepy guy who like a patch on his face, and it kind of looks like Kuro Sensei. It kind of reminds me of it.
Yeah, it was that creepy dude. Yeah. But it's like, I understand the reason why he didn't show his face was because he was still healing. But, like, in the manga, he takes off the handkerchief to show it to Toka. And Toka sees it, but we don't get to see it. And it's like, for a manga that actually shows gore and stuff, and how now they're not showing it, it kind of gave me the sense that it was really messed up. But it's like, that's as far as I got when I was reading the manga, because then I had to change phones and all that stuff, and I couldn't get the manga browser again. But it's like, I wanted to watch the anime to see what happens, but then I also stopped because I didn't want Shirazu to die. Like, again, like, I stopped the episode before, because I'm like, I know what's going to happen after this, and especially because Shirazu was, like, only being a quinx for his sister, and, like, trying to make sure that she was going to live and all that stuff. Like, that hurt me, because it's like, I've never had a brother, and my siblings aren't really the ones that will do anything for me. So it's like, having Shirazu do that for someone was kind of like, he really cares. He's not, you know, essentially the asshole that everyone kind of assumes he is. Mint, I know you're here. I've seen
okay,
Spring.
I was so pissed when Kanai died. I was so pissed. Because I liked it, like her, him, or what does it want to be called? I mean,
him. Sorry.
It wants to be called a him because
he essentially joined the quinx on one condition, and that was because he wanted to be seen as a man, and he knew that if he started a new life as the quinx, he'd be able to be a man. But it's like, I don't think. Wait, what do you mean by they died?
Kanai?
Like, how did they die?
They jumped off to save Tuscuyama.
What the fuck?
The German one who had the really
Yeah.
nice accent. Well, if you watched, you know, he had a nice accent.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she pretended to be a guy for Tuscuyama. It was like I forgot why, but
Oh,
I
no,
thought
it was
that was
because
funny.
wait, no, sorry. Yeah, that dude, she actually doesn't want to be called a guy. I thought you meant the trans one in the Queen Squad. No, she.
Oh no, yeah. She doesn't want to be called a guy because you know
she was posing
she wanted
as her brother or something like that because her brother was the one, that was dead, not her, and they all assumed that she was the one that died and the brother was alive, and that's why they wanted the brother to come to Tsukiyama because that way, you know, she would be able to have someone with him that he knew as a kid. But Shu always knew that Kanae was a female. Which is, it's like, it kind of makes sense because ghouls seem to be able to smell if they're either a female or have been with a female. So it's like other people could have assumed that he was with females because he seemed very attractive. But the fact that Shu knew that she, you know, was a girl and everything, it's like, it makes me like Shu even more because he didn't betray Kanae at all. Like, he let Kanae do what she wanted to do. Because Kanae, I'm pretty sure Kanae thought that posing as a male was going to be the best thing, like it was going to be more accepted from everyone. Man, it's been like a long time since I've read manga or even like watched anime. I really need to get back into it. But at the moment, I'm just getting back into reading books. And like, the only manga I actually own, I've got like Full Metal Alchemist Volumes 1, 2, 3, Assassination Classroom Volume 1, Platinum End Volume 1, and Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, 5, 7, and 8. Because that's like, when it comes to finding manga here, it's really expensive.
Monkey.
And it's like...
How expensive is it? Like...
Well, pretty sure for the singular volumes, because I've got like one that's like the first 3 together, the singular volumes can be even just $30.
What? Wait, hold on. So that's in your money, so that
Yes.
would...
At the moment it would transfer probably around to $15 to you guys.
God. That's a little much.
Yeah, and it's about like $60 for the first 3 volumes altogether, like in big books. And that's because it's like we have to essentially pay for the book itself and then for the shipping for it to get here. Because, I mean, with us being Australia, it's kind of harder for us to get shipping from anywhere else. Because it has to be flown in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of justified price.
Oh no.
Yeah, in America, like, there's literally, like, otaku stores everywhere. So...
Yeah, and here we barely have any, like, where I got my manga from was from a comic book store. That's, like, the most that we can actually try and find places. Like, you guys have a Hot Topic, even. We don't have a Hot Topic. We don't have anything like a Hot Topic. There's nothing here that's specifically for the emus, for the weebs, for anything like that. There's nothing specifically here for us. Even though there is an industry here, no one's willing to put the money and effort into it because they won't get an immediate, like, profit or anything. Because first, they have to have word spread around that, yes, it actually does exist. So, dude, you can go there. Because, like, I know even us Australians that will go over to America will go there And one of the first places that we go shopping is like Hot Topic. If we're part of the emo
Yeah.
community, like it's just Hot Topic. Because we don't have
you
anything
ever
like
been
it
to
here.
America?
No. But like all of my emo friends that are Australian, they go, oh my god, like I went to America and as soon as I got off the plane, I went to the first Hot Topic store that I could find and I got so much merch, I got so much merch and everything. And it's like, oh, that's great.
Americans suck my ass.
Yeah, this kinda suck not having like those kinds of stores.
Because like we have, like, I'm trying to think, Cotton On kind of has emo stuff, and the most emo stuff they have there is ripped jeans, but it's not ripped jeans like emo ripped jeans are, it's ripped jeans like preppy ripped jeans. And it's really annoying because you'll see all these, you know, basic bitches over here with ripped jeans and everything, and they go, oh my god, I love it. And they will say to pretty much emos who are wearing ripped jeans that we're not allowed to wear them because they're not sold in stores for us. They're sold in stores for them. It means it's their item of clothing. And it's really stupid because it's like, well, actually, no. You guys only have it because the fashion industry in America, like, are you literally that stupid? But it's like, we used to have a store like Hot Topic in terms that you could buy black clothing there. It's called JJ's, and it was pretty much like an alternative store, so you could get, you know, maybe the odd band tee there, but it was mainly like, you know, your ripped jeans, you had, you know, your Harry Potter stuff, your comics and all that stuff, but now they've completely switched from having the best skinny jeans ever to having preppy short shorts. They still have their Harry Potter shirts and comic book shirts and all that stuff, but they stopped having anything remotely, like, they used to have Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. They don't even have that anymore. Because they're like, oh, this is like too depressing or too sad for us. And so they've turned into like a preppy poppy store. And it's like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
This is not what we want. So a lot of us, the only way that we actually get merch in Australia, like for any type of band that's remotely alternative, is going to a concert. And like you get merch at the concert itself, or you order it online. And because a lot of the people that we listen to are American, it's listed in USD. Now, for example, the jacket that Dex got from Deadmau5, it was $70 USD. Now that, you guys might go, $70 isn't, you know, that bad, I guess.
That's a lot for a jacket.
Well, yeah, but it's like Deadmau5 is a lot bigger than some other things, like other people and all that stuff. So it's like, it kind of makes sense.
Makes sense.
Now for us, Dex had to pay $100 and I think it was $40 for it. $140. And that was for the jacket. I'm not sure if that included shipping or anything, but yeah, it's crazy to pay that much. But it's like, we don't even have any stores that are dedicated to anything like that over here, so we have to pay these ridiculous prices to get anything. Like, I was having a look online for merch, and I had to essentially pay $40 for a shirt. And it's like, really, $40 for one shirt? And then shipping on top of that is about $10? And it's like, why? Why is it so much? But it makes sense because, you know, literally in Ireland. But like when Hot Topic had their sale on like the Christmas or Black Friday sale, I had a look at their shirts, like, you know, your $10 ones. I essentially had a look at that many that I was pretty much had in my shopping cart about 10 or 12 different band merch shirts, and it ended up being like $100. And I was like, you know what, I'm happy with this price, I'd willingly pay this. The shipping was like more than a shirt itself. And I was here going, no, I can't pay what's going to end up being like $150 for 10 shirts.
Yeah, like I understand. Like, if there's something like shipping's over $25, like, and I was in Australia, I would understand if you would be kind of troubled to get that. But like, because I'm in America, and if shipping is over $15-20, and there's like a warehouse in California, there's no way. Because you're literally just taking people's money.
Yeah.
The USPS doesn't charge over like, a few bucks.
Yeah, it's like, I know, for us, there are places in Australia which are direct factory outlets. DFO, is what they're essentially called. When I went to Melbourne did everyone get kicked again?
Yeah.
Okay, because everyone's getting kicked when I seem to die.
Yeah.
And don't die. Should I just have like a command block that keeps on healing you?
No, it's not that. It's like I'm just not gonna eat. Like I'm just not eating because I'm just running around and being stupid. But it's like when I went to Melbourne in year 9, we went to like direct factory outlets, and I bought so many CDs of bands that I love and all that stuff because I couldn't get them even in New South Wales. I couldn't get them in my own state. Because to get them into my state, it has to be like a special import, and at that time we hadn't had as many stores dedicated to CDs specifically for my type. Because we have this place called Sanity. I'm not sure if it's like anywhere else, but that used to be the spot where you would go to for your alternative, for your metal, for anything like that. Like you'd also go there for your TV shows, like Supernatural was always on sale. You'd go there for anime. It was good because it was this spot, but suddenly they changed everything so that instead of having, say, 6% alternative music, 10% TV shows, 5% anime, and then 25% pop stuff. They completely switched it around, so about 80% of it is pop music. And then the anime that they've got there is ridiculously overpriced. Like $60 for one season. $60.
Fuck?
No.
That's just...
It's a bit like, why would you have something in there? Because if I want to get anime, I'd rather get, say, all of the seasons. I'd rather get all the seasons together, because then I know that they're all together, I've got them, I can binge watch them at any time that I want. But then, it's like, oh yeah, to get all of them you're gonna have to spend, like, maybe $180. So close to $200. Just because you want to watch something. And mind you, like, Supernatural would be going for maybe $10 a season. And then, like, now with, like, CDs and stuff, if you go there, you have to look essentially in, the artist's A to Z. Because they will have just random artists that they haven't really categorized into genres yet. And there you will find just any artist. Like, I mean, even Metallica. You would think they'd have a metal section for Metallica, AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, any of them like that, but they don't. Their metal section is essentially like one line of CDs, and you maybe they'll have Metallica in there, but most of the time you have to look in the various artists A to Z, and you will find maybe one or two things that a remotely alternative. And like they don't even have a lot of the niche stuff that they used to have. Like for Panic at the Disco, even the albums I've got there, it is rare to find Pretty Odd. It is rare to find a lot of other CDs. And they just seem to have like A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Oh, no, that's Fall Out Boy, isn't it? I don't know. But they only have like one CD, like the most popular CD. They've only got one of these artists, and they just seem to restock it because they're like, oh yeah, this one sells well, but it's only because that's the only one that they have in stock. So of course it's gonna sell well if it's the only one they have. And like now that we've got JB Hi-Fi, in like the shopping center, Sanity has now lost pretty much all of its customers because JB Hi-Fi, they have like these dedicated sections for heavy metal, for alternative, for punk/hardcore. Like they've got all these sections, and they have a lot of these rarer CDs, and it's amazing. And there's like everything there. And now Sanity's just like, why are we losing customers? Oh, I know, we're not selling enough pop stuff. And it's like, no, Sanity, you're selling too much. Like, it's the same people that are coming to you to buy their stuff, and now you're just selling them the same thing over and over again. You need to actually chill out and sell things to other people who have other interests. You know, not everyone likes Ed Sheeran. I mean, Sanity still sells One Direction CDs.
What the fuck?
Like, it's also like they'll sell pop stuff, but then outdated pop stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, okay, Sanity, you do you.
You're not gonna make any business.
No, I mean, I think they're gonna have to close down soon.
Yeah, definitely. If they're gonna, you know.
Damn it!
Yeah, you guys have Redbubble though, right? So.
What?
Redbubble.
What's that?
Okay.
I think you sell stuff on there. I don't know.
You
Hold
mean
on.
eBay?
A gayer. Okay.
We mainly use eBay.
I think it's in Australia, and it's.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's in It was founded in Australia, so.
I've like never heard of
Oh,
Redbubble.
yeah. You might like it because it's basically a website that makes like, because I've ordered off of it before. I love this website. They make stickers, like you can customize a sticker, and they're really good. They're like $1 or $2 each.
Oh.
And you can put like things on shirts, pencil pouches, laptop skins.
One of those, yeah. Okay, yeah. We seem to have like a lot of those websites, like just kind of around. So people kind of like, we don't really mention Redbubble as such. It's like you'll see someone with a custom-made t-shirt of like someone's face on it, and we'll be like, oh my god, where'd you get that? And they'll go, oh, like some online website where you can make it. So it's like, we barely like mention Redbubble in and of itself. And if it's founded in Melbourne, that's like in Victoria. So that's the state below me. And people in Melbourne will probably talk about it, but not people in my state. Because we've got like other websites of our own that we can kind of get to. But like, I thought you guys meant like we've got our own online shopping thing. And I'm like, what do you mean, like eBay? Because we use eBay quite a lot. Like, especially to get things from overseas. Like you would
eBay.
Like you'd have a look at the official store pricing, and then you would go to eBay, and you'll get it like half price.
Yeah, like I found some on Amazon for $63 that I wanted. I mean, it's junk, but it was like a con exclusive thing. And you know, how was it gonna pay, you know, $63 for it? So I went on eBay, found it for $15.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like now that we have Wish as well. Like, you guys have heard of Wish, yeah?
Oh yeah. Wait, is it in Australia?
Well, it's just an app. Everything comes from outside of Australia. But it's
Oh
like
yeah, I've ordered keychains off there. I don't know if they're gonna come or not. But
it takes a while. Like I'll just let you know,
Yeah.
it does take a while for
a
stuff
month.
from Wish.
Oh yeah, it takes over a month because like everything's in China there. Right?
Yeah. But basically, so now that we have Wish, we will essentially get stuff off there.
Wish is gay. Fuck you.
And like that is kind of our cheaper eBay. But it's like it's nice to get stuff off of Wish because you can essentially look at something and go, oh yeah, I'd like that, and then it's gonna be home by 12. Okay. Well, it is tidy. Oh well, Kaylee's gonna wreck them up again.
Ow.
Yep, I'll go out in the rain. I was making a joke. Chill. No. Okay. But like, yeah, now that we've got Wish, it's good because we can essentially just get anything off there, and like, yeah, it takes kind of like forever to come, but it's nice and chill. But like, we again with Wish, there's nothing like, unless you specifically look for it, you won't be able to get certain things. Like band merch, even on eBay, it's kind of a bit hard to get specific band merch that you want, like anywhere, because you'll see it advertised and go, oh, I want to get that, and you'll have a look at the official store pricing and you have to pay basically $120 for the item itself, and then it ends up, you know, not being as good as you imagined, or not being the specific item you wanted, and it's kind of annoying.
Because you gotta, like, when I go shopping on eBay, it's like one of my favorite things. When I get Christmas money, eBay, you know? Don't buy anything, like, if you're gonna go for an Android, do not buy it from China.
Oh yeah.
Do not. If you're gonna get an Android, go on, I don't know if Mercari, if you have, it's basically like garage sale websites where you just put stuff you don't want anymore.
Oh, so like Gumtree. We've got something like that. It's called Gumtree, where we buy, swap, and sell and all that stuff. There's like only specific sellers that we all kind of go to, and not even that. It's like if they don't have a rating of 95% or higher, we don't really buy from them.
Yeah, that's how I am.
I mean, it's also kind of like, why would you want to buy from them if they're rating like 49% positive feedback? You're basically signing something going, yep, I know it will not be the thing that I want. I agree to this.
Yeah. Yeah, because like on Mercari, they're gonna tell you if it's a bootleg.
Yeah.
Or anything.
I mean, we kind of have that where they say if it's gonna be a bootleg or not, but it's more so like they just like we just have to search for things that say the word official in it. Like if it's the official thing, we go, oh yeah, that's gonna be cool, you know. It's gonna be fine for us to get because it's official and everything. But like, if it doesn't say official, we always get suspicious about it. Because not only will it probably be a knockoff, but it might not even end up being the right item.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm lucky that my experience shopping hasn't been like other people's. Because it seems that everyone always goes like, oh, I ordered this thing, it's not the right size or anything, but I'll have a look at the chart. I will literally have a look at all people's recommendations and feedback and everything. And they'll be like, oh, did you realize that you have to order a size up? And then it's like, oh, that's cool. Thank you for telling me that.
Why am I at spawn? Oh, motherfucker.
Oh my lord. These rabbits are crazy.
I'm gonna do a magic trick. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, go for it.
What the fuck? You didn't do anything.
Rip you.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me do the trick again. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Alright.
Now I'm totally ready for this one. Totally ready for this magic trick. What the fuck? Hey, whatever! It doesn't work anymore. I fucking hate this trick. I'm gonna die. I don't fucking do this trick anymore. So it can suck my ass.
Lol.
I feel very upset. Somebody's here. I'm gonna draw for.
Okay, sorry. My dad's not home, so I can't find my grandma's email to send her something.
It's all G.
On.
It's like, I'm low-key dying. Because I can't seem to, like, understand my own body and how to time things.
Mm. There's this figure that I've been seeing for a long time. But now that I'm looking at the pictures, it's kind of like I want it.
Really?
Yeah, like it's a figure.
Mm.
$48.
$48. That's like
Cause
$80, $96 over here.
when I first saw it, it was like $80, $90.
Jesus.
And it was posted on my birthday, well, the day before.
Mm.
That was a long time ago. I mean, April, May, you know.
Mm. Is it weird, like, do you call people who are born in June summer babies?
What the?
Like, do you call them that?
No.
No?
Why is that? Do you think?
Well,
Or do you guys do that?
well, because June is winter for us. Anyone that's born in June, July, or August, we call them winter babies. Because we're born in winter. I was just wondering if you guys call them summer babies because you're in America and your things are switched over.
Nah. We don't. I've never heard that term before.
Okay, because I was just like, that would be weird. Because I've seen memes where it's like, winter babies be like. And I go, but what if they're in America? Because they can't
I
be
need to go find my
specifically winter
phone.
babies.
Yo, I can't find my phone anywhere. I need to go
Alright.
Hey, Dad. Okay, I got it. I don't know if you heard me screaming or not.
I heard what I thought was someone saying, "Hey, faggot."
Yeah. Kind of a greeting now.
Eh. I mean, I say that to one of my friends, and he immediately like just looks up. It's like, "A."
Yeah, once I was I was at a school retreat, and none of the teachers were there. It was just me, my sister, and 3 other people.
Mm.
And like the
One that put
no,
men
she's
down.
a feminist, but she doesn't understand.
Yeah, she puts men down for being men. Men are all
Practically.
pigs.
And then there's 2 of my other friends totally get my humor. Like
Yeah.
they love it. And I screamed at my sister, "Hey faggot, can you give me the hairbrush?" or something like that. And this one girl, the feminist, got so mad.
Really?
She's like, she looked at me, and she's like, "You know, don't say that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "You're making fun of a whole entire group of people, and that's not right." I'm like, I just called my sister a faggot.
It's not even anything. Okay, now, the reason why people get offended if you're going to call them faggot or anything is because of those people who go, they're going to get offended. It's because they go, oh, well, I have a right to feel offended. So they're going to get offended. And it's not even that. It's more so like, if they genuinely get offended for being called something, then it's kind of their fault for being really sensitive. But it's like, if anyone came up to me, and like, I in the past have become very, very offended and insulted when I was like being called an abo, or well, mainly just an abo, or an aborigine, because
What does that exactly mean? I forgot.
well,
Sorry.
Aboriginal,
I feel like I've heard it before.
like Aboriginal is, you know, for us Indigenous Australians, so us are Native Australians. Now, basically, abo is a derogatory term given to those. It was just like when the white people came over to Australia, they called us Aborigines, abo, anything like that, and that just kind of, it really, I don't like it. Mainly because it's when the white people came over and it was used in a derogatory way. That's why I don't like it. Because it was used with intent to harm. And the person that kept calling me this is in year 7. The person that kept calling me this, he was actually British. So it was kind of like, okay, this is kind of this is a stupid thing for you to do.
Yeah.
And the only time, like, I mean, yeah, I got hella offended, but that was mainly because I was being bullied, and this kid was like, let's use race as a way to bully. And, you know, it was just kind of a bit, I don't know, it's like, say with Native Americans, if anyone who is Native American said, oh, I know how to do this, this is how my people used to do it, and someone goes, of course, only you would know how to do that, you know, because you're such and such, it would be really, it's just something not nice to say. Like, there was this scholarship that I was on, and basically, if you got in the top 60 people in the state who, like, their, what was it called? We called it, not ATAR, NAPLAN. It was something that you do in year 3, 5, and 7. And basically, NAPLAN for us allows, the state, I think, or the entirety of our country to go, alright, this is how our school is doing with education, we need to improve these areas. So NAPLAN is mainly for the teachers, and for our education to be improved. And so that's fine. And so what this scholarship was based on was, if you're Indigenous, they would take the top 60 Indigenous students of the NAPLAN, and they would offer them this scholarship. Now, this scholarship It ran for 3 years. You would get $4,000 a year, and it was to go towards educational means. And what they would do is twice a year you go on 3-day hubs, and these hubs were essentially like just camps. And on these camps you'd go to places like Greater Bush Camp. You'd go to like just recreational centres, essentially, and you would do stuff there, like activities there. So it could be, rock climbing, could be abseiling, could be giant swings. You could do like, what are the things called where you grab onto them and you slide down, like on a wire or something. Like you could do all sorts of things. We'd do that as part of our daily activities, and what we would also do is learn more about our culture. So we would have talks. Now these 60 kids, right, only 20 of us were chosen to be in the year and get the scholarship. I was lucky to be one of those 20. They even created a new award for me, because they chose the ones that did best in year 5. They created a new award for me at my primary school, and it was something that they've had ever since. And it's an Indigenous student who has achieved great educational either lengths or standards, or has achieved great educational things or academic things, which I think is good, because it's trying to promote Indigenous people being smart, as smart as the whites and all that. Now, on this hub, I went to one on year 7. It was one of my last ones. I learnt how to make an axe. We're just smoothing some stone down and like sharpening a point on some sandstone. We're heating a stick.
Yeah.
That's chopped in half, and then like putting it all together with twine and beeswax. Very damn simple. And it's kind of like, it's not inherently Aboriginal. Anyone could have come up with this. I'm pretty sure the Native Americans came up with it as well. Now, because we were talking about stuff in science, I was saying, oh, I know how to make something. I was on a hub and we learned how to do this thing. And I asked my teacher, would you like me to explain it to you? Because at that time we were talking about rocks and how Aboriginals used rocks for a lot of their tools and stuff. And he was like, yeah, sure, go for it. And this one kid, he was like, well, of course you would know how to do that. And my science teacher was like, and why is that? To try and make a point, like, why would just this one person know how to do that? And he's like, oh, because she's an Abo. And the teacher was like, alright, fine, whatever, you can believe that. You can be ignorant. And I just explained it. And it was kind of just, I'll just stay away from this kid. He kept on, like, bullying me for the fact that I was Aboriginal. And that was the only reason. Because in my year, there was a few of us that were Indigenous. But in my class, and in all the classes that we had, it was just me that was Aboriginal. In the top class, I think. Or maybe there was like one other person, but like they barely said anything. And so this kid, he would just keep bullying me for it. It got to a point where I held him up against a wall by his neck, and I was like choking the life out of him. Not because he specifically hurt me, but because I'd had enough, and he was also bullying one of my friends. And that's what snapped me. Because in previous times, I'd chased him around. I had, told him essentially to fuck off and leave me alone. And so I just snapped, because he was not only hurting me, but hurting one of my friends. And I'm not territorial or jealous or anything. Well, I mean, I'm territorial over Dex. Like, if anyone gets near him, it's like, that's mine. But for my friends, I am very, very protective. Because I hate people I know and trust being hurt. Because that...
Oh, yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, yeah.
It'll mess up them. And so I was just choking him. And I was telling him, like, if he ever made any advancements to one of me or my friends again, if he ever said anything to them, I would kill him. I threatened to kill him. He had, like, bruises all around his neck where I was choking him. The teacher,
Ooh.
he didn't care. Like, my science teacher, he just, like, looked at me when this was happening. He didn't even give me a look of, like, disapproval. He was happy because I was standing up for myself. And this kid was like, okay, I'll stop. And he did.
Did he actually stop?
Yeah, he stopped. He stopped.
Okay, good.
And it's because, like, I scared him. He had never had anyone stand up to him. He had never had anyone go, you know, what you're doing is just stupid and wrong. Like, what the hell, dude? He's never had anyone do that. But I did, and then I threatened to kill him. Like, dude, this is something serious. And I've never gotten in trouble for it. So I'm glad about that. Because if I got in trouble for it, I would even be more mad. But it's just... he was so rude to people of different races and everything. And especially anyone, oh, God forbid if they were, you know, Abo or something. But, like, it's just stupid. But, like, now, because I was a kid then, now that I'm older, I'm kind of okay with people calling me whatever they want. In terms of, like...
Yeah.
People can call me a nigger. I don't care. Like, obviously that's for African Americans. But, like, if people call me black, I'm not gonna get angry over it because, like, I don't physically look black, but I am by blood. And it's just, I don't care anymore because it's not something to get offended over. It's not something, like, if people are gonna just talk to you and they're nice to you and they're talking to you in a polite way and they're like, oh yeah, no, you're such a, you know, oh, you're just speaking really black right now. I'm not gonna get offended over that. Because it's like... it's like...
because you've learned to not be offended by stupid things.
And not even that. It's people know when you can be, you know, like, what you can say around people. People have learnt that. And I've learnt that. It's like, I will not make jokes about the Holocaust or gassing the Jews or anything near old people particularly. But anyone that I know will definitely get offended. Because, you know, it's just my way of respecting them, and it's too close to home. But, like, I had a friend who was Jewish, and I had a friend who was German, and, like, they'd always joke around, and if, like, my Jewish friend was like, oh my god, you're hurting me so bad, wow, you're such a bad person, then my German friend would be like, that's because I'm German and you're a Jew, I have to hurt you, it's in my blood. Like, they will joke around. And it's nice to joke around. But, like, they wouldn't say it to certain people. Which is good. But it's also, like, they've learnt... like, everyone knows not to be offended by stupid things. Well, not everyone. But now I think because... like, this is going to relate back to the pronouns thing. Now I think because people are more accepting of, like, race and, I guess, racial slurs just now being a bit more of a joke... now it's time for special snowflakes to go, oh, but we need acceptance too, because we're of different genders. And it's like, yeah, I understand that people need to accept the fact that there are other identities out there in terms of gender. But it's like, not everyone believes that there are more than two genders. Not everyone accepts that. And that's fine, because it's the same as, you know, when, I mean, heck, when people thought that, like, well, when people, like the white settlers, saw platypuses, or platypi, here, they thought that all they had done was get a duck and a beaver and stitch it together. That's what they thought. They genuinely thought that a platypus didn't exist. That's kind of like what these people are doing. Like the ones that go, I don't believe in two genders, because they kind of think it's something that you've just put together to get attention. And that, it's like, this is completely understandable and fine. Because they just, either they don't have the time to understand it, they are just too ignorant to understand it, or it's just the fact that they don't want to get caught up in stuff that can just be rather political and bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's like, the pronouns thing, like that law that we're talking about before, with pronouns. It's so stupid.
I know.
It's
and,
like,
you know,
like, why would you... Okay, I do not care if people call me she, he, they, whatever. I don't care what they call me. Like, yes, I prefer they, them, but that's the thing. I prefer it, and if people don't call me by it, that's fine, because the way that they're going to call me, which is most typically she, is mainly because they perceive me as a female, as someone of the girl gender. And that, it's like, I'm fine with it because my voice is typically feminine. Some of my mannerisms are still pretty feminine, though almost most of my mannerisms are more masculine. The way I dress isn't typically masculine. It's not, 100% I am a man. It's more towards that feminine side, but it's like, it's not entirely girly, but the way that they see me is obviously how they're going to refer to me.
Jazz?
Yes. I totally like jazz. It's my favorite genre. But it's like,
Shit.
if someone said to
Hold
me...
on, I messed up.
If someone said to me, oh, okay, what are you? I would go, oh. I mean, this actually happened to me one Halloween. Some little kid, like little girl, she came up to me and she goes, excuse me, are you a boy or a girl? And I was like, happy, because she was genuinely intrigued and she was just straight up asking it. And I said to her, it doesn't matter what you call me, it's what you want to call me. If you think I'm a boy, then I'm a boy. If you think I'm a girl, then I'm a girl. It's what you want to call me. And she goes, okay, well, I'm going to call you a girl because your voice is like a girl's. And I was like, okay. And I was happy with that, because she was... It's like, for this law, are they going to punish a little kid for assuming someone's gender and calling them he or she because that's what a little kid thinks they are? Like, are they going to do that as well? Because, again, that would be even more stupid.
I feel like they'd get that, I feel like some people would get that offended.
And it's stupid for them to get that offended over a little kid not knowing. And if they won't get offended over a little kid not knowing their gender because they go, oh, they're just a little kid, they don't know any better.
I'm fighting a 7-year-old because she misgendered me. So now I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fining her because, she thinks I'm a boy when in fact I'm actually a helicopter. It's like... It's like so stupid if they're gonna, fine little kids, but then on the same token, if they don't fine little kids and they fine adults, are you saying that little kids are too young to understand? I knew that I was trans when I was like 3 years old, or I knew I was this when I was at a very young age. They're basically invalidating themselves, because they're saying that these kids won't even know how to comprehend these things, and yet they were saying that at that age they could comprehend it. So like, it's just stupid in the first place, but on top of that, it's even more stupid.
Yeah, and like, I feel like people, I mean, it's more and more, influenced about this gender debate and stuff. And they are starting to tell kids this, and it's like,
okay,
some people, I mean, not a lot, but I've seen, like, on, documentaries and stuff, because sometimes I like to watch those, people, like, this woman forced her kid to be a different gender.
See, that's not okay.
I think I may have seen that.
See, it's like, when it comes to gender and kids, I did watch a documentary, and it was basically, like, it was just like a social study. What had happened is that this group of people had gone into, like, a preschool and a kindergarten type thing, and they asked the kids to be, like, they said, we're going to talk to you guys one by one and ask you a few questions. And they had a Barbie doll and a Ken doll. They said the Barbie doll is mum, the Ken doll is dad. Now, who goes to work all the time? You know, who's the one that should work? Half of them pointed to the dad, and then there was a few that pointed to the mum. Then there was a few that were like, both of my parents work. You know? And it was just to see what kids kind of thought about typical gender roles, and in particular just the binary ones. And they said, okay, who buys makeup? Or well, first it was like, who goes shopping the most? They pointed to the mother, and one time the kid pointed to the father. And some of the kids even pointed out, they go, my mum goes shopping the most, but that's because dad's at work and mum's getting the food that we need. So it's like, we as older people will know that's just something that you should do. Because if someone's at work and you're not working, you should be the one who's going out and getting the food and doing all the other things. Like that just makes sense, regardless of what gender you are. Then they asked, who wears the makeup? They all pointed to their mother. One of them said, my mum doesn't wear makeup because she doesn't like it. And I said, okay. And they just kept doing these things like, oh, who's the one that likes cars the most? And they pointed to their dad a bit. Some pointed to the mum. Like, it was just very mixed things. It was, yes, biased towards, like, males do more masculine things and females do more feminine things, but there was that bit of overlap. And then they asked the kids, what do you think you are? A lot of the girls pointed to the girl, like to the Barbie doll, and a lot of the guys pointed to the Ken. There was, like, a few kids who, like, in particular female, they pointed to the Barbie doll, except they go, I prefer, you know, shorts, though, because then I can run around better. Because the Barbie doll was in a dress. And again, it's like, that's fine, because that's just them going, I prefer these clothing. And the results of the study was essentially, gender roles in kids, they kind of just go based off of what parents do. And they said if you know, are going to be more feminine, then sure, that's fine. And they said, now, if a child has same-sex parents, they will still have these gender roles instilled into them. Like, one of them will just seem more feminine, one will just seem more masculine. And that's just how it's going to be. And this documentary was pretty much just explaining that to kids, it doesn't matter what you teach them, because they can still make up their mind and have their own opinion about things. But also that raising your kids, you have to be careful on how you raise them, because regardless if you tell them things explicitly or not, they will learn them. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. The fact that kids were able to pick up on certain things. And on that, they then talked, like, they opened up a discussion, like, okay, do you think you should raise your kids more gender neutral? And I know, like, a lot of people don't like the idea of raising their kid gender neutral, because they go, how will they know what they are then? On that same token, if you're forcing a kid into a certain gender, like, if you've got a female child and you only buy them pink things and only buy them princesses and fairies, you're kind of forcing them into that thing. So how will they know what they are if you're forcing a binary on them? But what people, like, so I am for raising a child gender neutral, but a lot of people assume raising a child gender neutral means we will only buy them gender neutral stuff. As in, we'll buy them maybe a black t-shirt that says favourite child. Now, that stuff, I'm kind of like, that's not gender neutral. Like, I'd rather go shopping with my kid, and, you know, when they're obviously old enough to be able to choose things, which, looking at my baby sister, she's 1.5 years old, and she likes choosing her own things. So it's like, it doesn't take that long for them to choose what they want to, you know, essentially have. I would go shopping with my kid, and to raise them gender neutral, all I will do is ask them what do they want. And when it comes to toys especially, I'll take them up both sections, boys and girls. Regardless if they are a male, regardless if they are a female, I will take them in both sections. And if they choose one particular thing over another, that's up to them, you know? It's entirely up to them. That's raising them gender neutral to me, because you're giving them that choice to actually have what they want, like what they want. They don't have to
Yeah,
go,
'cause
oh,
I
hey
was-
mum, I want a dress and I'm a boy, but everyone thinks it's going to be weird. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about your kid being uncomfortable to talk to you, because you're the one saying, hey, choose what you want, because I fully support you.
Yeah, because I was growing up kind of like that. Like, I literally, even though I went through a phase where I literally only wanted like toys. I was like Transformers. I had Transformers costumes, full bucket of it.
Nice.
I watched boys' TV shows.
Yeah.
Hell, I even watched anime when I was little.
Yeah, which is typically
You know?
targeted towards boys.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit
I mean-
weird, but...
Yeah, and like my mom did this thing where a lot of kids would come over to my house like every day after school. It was like a kid's dream.
Mm.
And like it was mainly guys.
Yeah.
I had all the shit, you know?
Mm.
Like I had those cars, but then later I got into Monster High doll somehow. I literally didn't like fashion. I just liked collecting things. I think it's because I don't know. I just got because we were learning about genes, and I got the like addictive gene of collecting random shit that I don't need.
Yeah.
Because my mom, oh my god, if I did a house tour, the first thing you would say is, Sam, 100 and
Oh.
and then we have over 100 nutcrackers
Really?
that we put in the house. Yep. And then we have these clown statues.
Like, the only nutcracker that
In a-
I have, which is like, I'm allergic to nuts, so it's ironic, that we had it on display in our old house. But it was a crocodile. So you'd put the nut in its mouth, and then you would close it, like, its jaw with its tail, and it would crack open nuts for you.
Mhm.
Okay, it was
Yeah,
just cool
yeah,
to have.
Yeah, but now I've kind of gotten, I've gotten out of Monster High for a few years. Now it's like moderate. I don't get them often. Like this year, I've only gotten one.
The fact that you have to count.
Hold on. Yeah. We just think. Yeah. 3 legit Nendoroids. And then 2, more 5. Yeah, 5. And you know what Nendoroids are,
Yeah,
right?
I saw the photo that you sent.
Mm. Hola.
But it's like,
It's
I'd rather my
I'm
kid
not
choose
going
what they
out.
want. Rather than going,
yeah.
oh, it's a girl, so I'm going to, get whatever a typical female should get. And what I am still on the fence about myself is whether or not, like, if I have a kid, would I like them to call me mum? I'm still on the fence about it. But I feel like if they called me mum, they call me mum. If they call me anything else, they can call me anything else. I wouldn't even care if they just call me by my name. Like, it's just because I know that it might be a bit confusing for them. So either way, I'd be fine if they called me mum, because they may not understand at a very young age that I want to be called something different. But I myself still don't know if I want to be called anything different than mum, because mum is typically what the female counterpart is. And what a lot of people think about this thing is that, oh, you say that you're gender neutral and yet you want to be called mum, but that's what a girl gets called. Why do you want to get called mum? A lot of people don't understand that, as well as me identifying as non-binary, and well, like more specifically agender, and not having a set gender, is that I still identify as a female, because that is my sex. A lot of people forget that not only do people have a gender identity, but they also have a sex identity. And because a lot of people forget that, they also kind of forget the fact that, we still have other things that we'd like to be called. And yes, it can be confusing, because we say to them, oh yeah, we're gender neutral, at the same time that we're saying we'd still like to be. I wouldn't want to go, hey guys, it's a girl, and just only get them girl things. I'd probably get them, like, maybe gender neutral shirts when they're a baby. Like, one that just goes, you know, like if it's like, say, Daddy's Lucky Charm, or Mummy's Angel. Like, that stuff, regardless of what colour it's on, it will still be kind of gender neutral in terms of, like, what it's saying. And if it's on a pink shirt, I don't care if it's on a pink shirt. If it's on a blue shirt, I don't care if it's on a blue shirt. Because most of the times when they're, like, for a little baby, they're on white shirts. And after that point where they grow out of the white shirts is the point where they want their own stuff. So it's like, it works out fine anyway. But, like, I was raised from a single mum. Because my mum and dad got divorced when I was quite young. I have no memories of them being together, raising me, like, at all. So I don't even know what it's going to be like, if they ever had gotten back together. But because Mum was raising us by herself, she had to do both the male and female thing. You know, she had to be the mum and the dad. And that's the same with, say, single fathers. They have to be both the mum and the dad. You know, you have to be
that's
both
how it
parents.
is for me. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you have to be both parents. And so it was kind of like my mum used to work in these big industrial stuff, like, she made weatherboards and all that stuff, which is in a place where it can get up to 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is for you guys, but if 30 degrees here is about in the hundreds, like the low 100s, like 106 or something, 50 to 60 might be, I don't know. What's your boiling point of water?
I don't know. They never taught us this. Like, let me just look it up. Just to be exact. $212.
Okay. So
yeah.
our boiling point of water is 100. A clean 100. So to think that these places get up to 50 or 60 degrees, it means that it might get up to, like, say, 178 or 180 degrees for you guys in this one place. And that's, like, they typically employ males there. But it was a very masculine industry that she was in. But that was because she needed the money to support us. But it's like, a lot of kids still see people as, like, the mother, even if they're doing both things. Like, I know that out of us 3 kids that Mum has, we're all females. Older sister is typically, well, I mean, she likes getting her nails done. She doesn't wear makeup, but she likes female things. Then there's me, and I'm, you know, just indifferent. I don't want to wear makeup. I don't want to get my nails done. I don't want to do things which a prissy girly girl would do. I'd rather go out and just chill with a whole bunch of mates. Then there's my younger girl, like my younger sister. And she's kind of like, yeah, you know, I like flaunting my stuff, and I like being, you know, doing typically girly girl stuff. And it kind of annoys me, because she's adopting the mannerisms of, like, I'll wear short shorts but pull them right up.
To see, you know.
Yeah, and so I've in the past had to keep telling her, pull your pants down. Like, just tug them down a bit, please. Because no one wants to see your butt. Like, just pull them down, please. Like, I've had to say that in the past. She's gotten better now, but it's mainly because, like, the clothes that she gets don't fit her, because, okay, mind you, female clothes over here, I'm not sure if it's the same over with you guys, but over here, if you need to get a bigger waist, they will give you a bigger butt. That makes more sense. But the thing is, they don't scale it properly. So my sister, she needs booty space. but she doesn't need as much waist space. But she also needs a lot of thigh space, which is typical for a lot of females. With a bigger butt, you need bigger thigh space and a smaller waist than the butt itself. Pants over here don't do that. They just kind of go thin leg, big butt, big waist. Or thin leg, big butt, thin waist. It's never like, you don't even get leg space, which is why it rides up on her, because it's not the right size. And it's kind of even sad, like, say for me, I pretty much have no butt. Like, I'm flat as all heck. Now for me, it's like, I will need pants that are long. Well, I don't really need long pants, but I prefer to have long pants because then I can tuck them over my high tops, and they've got that little bit of a bundle at the bottom. Like, that's how I prefer my pants. But for those pants that actually fit my legs properly, so I can have that spot of like that little bundle, they're typically like a size 12 in women's here. I do not fit size 12. They are way too big. I fit a size 10. And to get a size 10, they end up like cutting the legs off short. So they're not even like jeans. They're kind of like 3/4 jeans. And I absolutely, like, just 3/4 jeans themselves. Why would you want to get 3/4 jeans? You either get shorts or you get a long pair of pants. That makes so much more sense than 3/4 jeans. Like, you don't want to see that little bit of leg. Why do you want that? But regardless of that point, like, they just infuriate me. Regardless of that, it's like you just can't get the right sizing here. And the butt space, like, some people have called me this at school. Well, one kid in particular, at my old school, because, like, doing a sport, walking in the street, we go around walking and all that stuff. Someone goes, "Why do you wear pants that low?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because I wear them on my hips, not on my waist. He's like, "Well, why do you wear pants that low?" I said, "Because I wear hipsters. I prefer wearing hip pants." He goes, "Yeah, but, like, you've got a saggy butt. You know, your crotch is really low." And admittedly, it is kind of low, where my crotch is. Like, the crotch on the pants. But that's how I like it anyway. Because then I've got, like, room to move. And if I wear pants that have, like, a crotch closer to my own, I get a rash on my legs from the pants rubbing up against my legs. But anyway, he was like, "Yeah, your crotch is too low. What are you doing? Are you hiding something?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he thought that I was hiding a penis. Like, he was saying, "Oh yeah, you know, are you hiding something?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't know, like, maybe you're a guy and you're just trying to be a girl." And I was just like, "No, I just wear my pants like this. What the hell, dude?" And he was just like, "Are you sure? It looks like you're trying to hide something." And it's like, yes, I'm totally hiding a penis in these pants. One that's so big that I need a very low crotch. But it's like, so with the pants over here, the butt will be, you know, they want you to fill out the butt in the pants, but some people just can't fill out the butt. And so they look saggy to some people. But it's also kind of like, I don't care if people assume that I'm hiding a penis. Because, by the same token, that kid assumed that I was a male trying to turn into a female. Or that I was trans and just trying to hide the fact that I'm transitioning into a male or something. I don't know. But it's like, if that kid, if he had gone up to me and gone, "Oi, you know, like, hey dude, hey you, yeah, the guy over there," I wouldn't care. Because it's like, that's how he sees me. Or if anyone goes, "Look at that girl over there," I wouldn't care because that's how they see me. And if someone was like, "Hey dude, I'm just kind of confused. What are you? Like, what do you identify as? Like, or just, what do you want me to call you?" I wouldn't care. if they come up to me going, excuse me, miss, I think, is this okay for me to call you miss? Or, excuse me, mister, and then go, oh, sorry, miss. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't get all offended, like, oh, you just assumed my gender. You just assumed my pronouns. How dare you do that? I wouldn't care, and I wouldn't find someone over it. Because why the hell should you care what other people think about you? Like, they're giving you real world, and in real time, they're giving you feedback on how you're presenting yourself. So if you're trying to go for a more androgynous look, and people just still refer to you as a female, and you've got nothing from other people calling you a male, or at least being confused, then you know that, okay, maybe I'm not dressing androgynously. I'm not dressing neutral enough. You know, it will give that person their own feedback on how they're dressing, and they might go, well, that's cool, because I've wanted to express myself more masculine, but I think I'm going overly masculine. But then, if they get feedback where they are still referred to as a girl, they can go, I can experiment with more masculine stuff. Or if they always get called a guy, they can go, well, I'm not really looking for being called a guy. Then they go, well, I can experiment with more feminine stuff. It's like they're getting feedback from people. So it shouldn't matter what people call them. And then, like, just getting butthurt over it. It's just like, you want people to accept you, but you can't shove things down people's throat. And then, because that's not working, you can't go and introduce a law that makes people have to, you know, respect you. You can't just do that. Because it's just wrong. And, like, I mentioned this before, like, on one of my Facebook posts, because it was talking about, I think it was talking about feminism, because I do not like feminists, only for the fact that feminists are usually ones that go, all men are pigs.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know, particularly like feminists, mainly for that fact. But
Yeah.
if they're trying to shove it down, because they just shove it down people's throat. But if there's a feminist out there that's just, you know, like, oh, it's just, chill, I just want to bring up women's rights so it's the same as men's, then it's like, okay, you're actually being a feminist. Now, my post...
Yeah, you're being legit.
Yeah, my post
You're
was,
not just attention, you know.
Yeah, you're not trying to do it for attention. My post, was something like, extreme, like, it's something to do with extremes, like, you can't...
Extremist. Yeah.
Like, you can't shove things down people's throats. And it was just someone saying it, or it might have been, like, an unpopular opinion post, like a unpopular opinion, but people who shove things down people's throats are... Oh, no, that's what it was. Unpopular opinion, but if you, lie about someone raping you, then you were disgusting. I was pretty much saying one extreme, like there are two sides of things. And say for conversation's sake, say there is side one, people wanting to be accepted for their gender. Side two, they believe there are only two genders. Now, extreme of side one, people that want to be accepted. There are those that are just chill about it, and we won't bring it up unless it's needed to, unless it warrants being brought up, or unless conversation is about the particular topic. We won't talk about gender identity, and in particular our own, because we're just kind of chill about it, and if people don't accept that there are more than two genders, we're chill. It's like that's what they want to believe. There's that side. Now, there's an extreme on this side, on side one, where it's like, you have to accept that there are more than two genders, because there absolutely are, you know. You have to agree with us, otherwise you're a pig. You have to do this, you have to do that. And they shove it down people's throats. That's an extreme. And then, like, on side two, there's the people that, like some of my friends, they don't believe there are more than two genders, and that's fine because that's what they believe and it's how they're brought up and that's just how they've formulated their own opinions. And I accept that and I respect that because that's them. And one of my friends in particular, he actually asked me more about this gender stuff because I was the first person that he'd actually been able to talk to who didn't break down crying, going, "You don't know what it's like," and got offended. And that's the extreme side on side one, where they always, you know, if they're in an argument with someone, they always break down crying and go, "You don't know what it's like to be ostracized," you know.
You play the victim and stuff?
Yeah, and they played the victim. And because I wasn't doing that, he was genuinely interested in what I had to say and my own experience. I didn't convince him that there are more than two, but it made him more, I guess, respectful of people who are like me, where we are just chill about it. But then there are the extreme on side two, where it's like, okay, dude, you guys are wrong and disgusting, you guys should die. There's like that extreme as well. And I was pretty much saying an extreme is an extreme regardless. You know, you shouldn't force someone into something. You shouldn't, you know, be very extreme about how to do things. You shouldn't say all men are pigs when in fact you just, like, you can't say that all men are pigs if you're a feminist, when in fact what you are trying to say and what you should be saying is that we should be equal to men, because we are, and there are just a few things that need to be fixed. Like, it's like you just need to be chill about it. And people were agreeing with me, like, yeah, an extreme is an extreme, because, you know, there are storms. Well, say there is rain, and it just comes, and it's nice and calming, and people quite enjoy the rain. Then there are thunderstorms, and there are some people who get really afraid of thunderstorms, who absolutely hate it, because it can be violent, it can be very extreme, and it can do a lot of damage. And that's the same thing with, like...
No, that's a lot of damage.
But that's the thing, like, that's the same thing as, you know, when it comes to talking about opinions and beliefs. You can be very calm about it and very soothing, and just like, hey, this is what I believe, and this is my opinion, and people will accept you for that, and people will be nice and are willing to talk to you. Or you can be the thunderstorm that comes along and just destroys everything, and like, yes, I am here, listen to me. Like, you can't be the thunderstorm. And people are just, like, I think it's just kind of pointless that a lot of people are now, you know, say, coming out with certain genders, because especially the people that go, oh, I am, say, a demiguy, demigirl, and I'm also at the same time, you know, entirely nothing. It's like, this person obviously doesn't understand gender if they're saying that they are a demiguy and a demigirl and then don't have a gender at all. Because for a demiguy or for a demigirl, they are typically, as, like, if people call me he, I am like, yes, I have testosterone. Look at me, I am strong. Feel my penis flex. Like, that is how masculine I'll feel if I'm referred to as he. But it's like, for people that go, I'm a demiguy and demigirl, that means, oh, you'll however you feel depending on the situation. And people don't understand, because there are people out there who want to try and understand the different genders, but they can't, because people keep making up names for genders that already exist. And it's like, I kind of, like, those people that make up more genders, those are the ones that even I don't associate with. Like, someone told me that they were, intergender. Well, not intergender, but bigender, where they feel both male and female at the same time. I kind of go, like, to their face, I was like, oh, you know, whatever, I'll let you think that. But I personally don't agree with someone who says that they're both male and female at the same time, because that's essentially saying you have no particular gender, because you can do anything and everything that either of them can do. So bigender isn't technically, you know, a valid gender. Because like you're just saying that you're either gender fluid, where you just flux, you fluctuate between feeling like a guy or a girl or anything, or you're just saying that you don't really identify as any gender because you can do anything and everything. And that's the reason why I identify as a gender, is because I just see people as people. I think anyone has the capabilities to do anything if they set their mind to it. Yes, there are restrictions and limitations based on their biological sex, like some females cannot do some things that males can do, mainly because they might not have enough testosterone in their system, or as much testosterone as men, which makes a whole bunch of sense, because biology and anatomy of human bodies and hormones and stuff. So they might not have enough stimulation for muscle growth, so therefore they're not as strong as a male. But that's just a biological aspect of life. And it's like people kind of just forget that, it doesn't matter essentially what you identify as, because you're still the sex that you are, unless you obviously get a sex change. Then it's like, you know what, you can be that sex because you obviously feel like you need the change. But it's like, I heard when talking to my mom about the whole pronouns law, she was confused, and she's like in her 40s. She was confused because she goes, does that mean if I don't call you Andy, that you can fine me and I have to pay you money because I don't call you Andy? Because Andy's like my preferred name. I said, no, it's not that at all. It's the fact that if you don't call me they, them, I could fine you. I could fine you because I am so upset and so offended. And she didn't understand. She's like, well, why? Because I'll call you by your birth name, but not Andy. But she didn't understand that pronouns are different things to someone's preferred name. Which is like, there are going to be many people out there like her, who with this new law in place will not actually understand the law, and get caught up in it, and get fined, because they genuinely don't understand things.
Yeah, and that's like the problem with it.
Yeah, it's like, people who don't understand are then going to be forced into understanding. And it's like, yes, I understand, it's a very abrupt way to get people to accept, or at least acknowledge the fact that there are other people with gender identities, but you shouldn't do it very abruptly. It should be like, just slowly introduced, or slowly chill and relaxed. And my mum was saying how they were starting to teach in some schools that boys can have periods too. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What?
Because when it comes to say education, because they're trying to teach in PE or PDHPE, just anything to do with personal health. PD, personal development, health, and personal exercise. They're trying to essentially teach that boys can have periods too, because you may be trans male, you're just stuck in a female body and you want to be a male. And we were all having this discussion, going, okay, if you're telling them that boys can have periods too, then there would be some male out there who's going to go, hey mum, when do I get my period? And think that they are going to get a period. And it's like, you shouldn't be teaching boys can get periods too. They should be teaching, it doesn't matter what body you are in, because that body is just the vessel that you're in. If you feel like you should have been in a male body, then go for it. Don't be ashamed of having your period. Don't be ashamed, of doing more masculine things, but then having to cancel plans, like you can't go out BMX riding because you've got cramps. Don't be ashamed of it, because that's still you, and you can still be a guy if you want to be a guy. You can still change your sex if you would like to. You can still do that if you would like to, but just don't be ashamed. They should be teaching, don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad about yourself. Not, boys can get periods too. Because it's like,
yeah,
you're going to confuse the people who just want to know more about it. And it's just, I know that for us, we barely learnt stuff about homosexual people. Like, we're still having trouble introducing sexuality into our education system. And the most that we were taught was like when we were doing sex ed, and we were talking about consent, how consent is key and all that stuff. They were pretty much saying, you know, you have to get a yes for consent, and there are all different types of ways of getting like a yes response. Like, there are different ways of expressing a yes. Some may be that the person, like, say someone asks you, hey, do you want to do the do? And you say pull out a condom. They say that is a way of you saying yes, while also at the same time saying hole. They said you should get a different condom, because it's, you know, one specifically for anal because it's thicker and all that stuff, and it won't tear. And they said, well, why would you get a thicker condom for anal? Like, some people were asking, like, why not lube? And they said, well, of course STIs still exist. And they said that it's a lot safer for homosexuals. And that's the most we learnt about gay people. It was just that, you know, it helps them not get STIs. But it was still the fact that they're going, like, that gay people will transmit STIs. But my teacher had to say these things because that's what the curriculum says that he has to teach us. But on the same token, he was saying, you know, if you love someone who is of the same sex as you, don't feel ashamed type thing. And he was just saying how there are many different ways of expressing your love for someone. Which was good, because then, you know, he wasn't, say, necessarily addressing homosexuals themselves, but he was just saying anyone can love someone in different ways. And he was talking, like, we also talked about how to have a healthy relationship. And some people were like, oh, you know, you should talk a lot more, you know? And we're like, yeah, you know, that's what you want. And then someone says, you need to have a lot of sex. And the teacher was like, no. If you are using someone, like, if you're just in a relationship to have sex, not in a healthy relationship. And this kid, full on, like, you could see his life crumble down in front of him, because that's basically what his father was doing for the mum. Like, he thought a healthy relationship was what his parents had, when in fact his mother was being used and abused. Like, he realized that his mum was being abused because we were teaching people how to have safe and healthy relationships. But it's like, it's kind of sad. My cat died. Rip cat. Not as if, you know, Dex and I spent hours in a jungle trying to, like, tame it, but okay. But it's just like, this whole gender thing, I would not want any of my children growing up and then being taught that boys can get periods too. I do not want them to grow up and be taught that it's okay, you know, if they want to, you know, be someone that they're not. Because the way that they seem to want to educate kids that you can be trans is that everyone has to be, you know? They're trying to go with the fact that, oh yeah, everyone, you know, everyone is going to have, like, a different gender identity than the one that they're born with. And I've even heard that there are people trying to, like, on birth certificates, get them to remove the part where they say what sex you are. Like, they want it removed.
Yeah, that's just a little too far.
Well, not even that. It's the fact that, you know, why would you want it removed? when it serves a purpose, and the purpose it serves is that it will tell, you know, doctors, this is, you know, what the person was born as. So when you're doing a surgery, you have to be careful because of these things. Like it tells them why you need to be careful. It tells them, you know, what you need to use, because there will be a different amount of drugs for different people because one's a male and one's a female. It's also why we like trans people. They ask what one they were born as, or on some birth certificates they actually get it like added onto the birth certificate, so it'll be like born male, and then like underneath it they'll go changed female, which I think that's okay, because then, you know, the doctors know that you were born a male, but you're trying to be a female, so they can do the surgery as best as they can. But it's like, the ones that want to get it completely removed, it's like, it's not, at this point, it is not something to do with society. It's not something that you can use as a weapon of political force or gain. It's nothing that you should persuade people to vote for you on, because it serves a bigger purpose than just being identified right, or having people to ask you what you prefer. Like, it serves a bigger, greater, and frankly more important purpose. And that's the same with like a lot of other things to do with gender, like...
You guys,
Huh?
you guys want to play Battle War?
No, not right now.
I mean, I was about to say sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure something out.
Ah.
I'll listen a little bit.
I mean, I've just realised that I've been babbling on for quite a bit about like gender and politics and stuff like that.
No, I love conversations like this. Like, I'm being honest.
See, I love them, but it's also like, I don't want to be the person that brings it up. Though, I mean, not last night, but the night before, Dex and I had just stayed up because we're talking about, I don't know how, oh, that's right. I was telling him how I saw this video on Facebook, and it was basically, this guy was having this debate, didn't know what the whole purpose of it was, of like what event he was at and everything, but basically, he was having a debate with one of the, oh, rip. He was having a debate with, some sort of thing. It was this big convention, and basically what had happened, he was saying that we can solve 3 things all at once. We can end world hunger and starvation, we can stop animal cruelty, and we can save the dying planet Earth all at once. And so I was like, okay, you know, I'm interested, because if we can solve world hunger and save the Earth at the same time, that would be hella cool, because we kind of need to do that. And ending animal cruelty, I was just like...
Wait, did you die again?
I fell from a high place.
The server crashed. Oh my god.
I don't know why every time you die, it crashes.
When you die, the server
Don't
dies.
die. For God's
Well, no, see,
sake,
like-
please don't die.
See, I was actually on my way to go inside to eat some more food, so that my hearts would go up. I was on my way going inside.
Dude, can you just tell me if you're about to die? Because I'll heal you. I don't
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was like I had 1 heart left, and all I was doing was going down, like, a 2-block gap.
Hi, Nova.
Hello, Nova. But yeah, like, this guy who was saying we could end animal cruelty as well, I was kind of like, animal cruelty? Okay, I don't see how it ties in to how we can save planet Earth and end world hunger at the same time. But okay, I was intrigued on how to do it.
Sorry to interrupt, but Nova and I are gonna play Bed Wars. If you guys want to join, you can join.
Alright. But yeah, it's like, I was interested in why, or rather how, we could do all this at once. And he goes on, he was like, imagine if we can do this, yada yada yada. And guess what the whole entire point of this argument was about?
What?
Being vegan. He said,
Oh lord.
he said, what we can do is, basically how it works is, these people in these third world countries are starving, and that all they can grow is grain, and that grain, some of it, well, he said most of it is bought by us, so we can feed it to our cows. If everyone adopted a Western diet, if everyone in the world adopted a Western diet where they had meat and vegetables on their plate every night, the world would not live within 20 days. And I'm like, that's a bit unrealistic and wrong. But he was like, you know, basically we should stop having cows. 1 kilogram of mince uses 20 liters of water to make. That's what he was saying. And I'm thinking 20 liters of water. If you're talking about how much water a cow is drinking over its lifetime, it will drink more than 20 liters of water. But not only that, it does pee. So the water is going back into the earth, as well as nutrients for the soil. So, like, this guy was a bit iffy. But then he was like, you know, I think he meant the process of actually making the mince itself uses 20 liters of water for a kilo. But again, with that water, you can reuse it. Like, you can, in these places, you could actually filter that water out and reuse it. So it doesn't matter. And then he was like, oh yeah, you know, the way that we can stop this is to stop buying the product. If we stop buying the product, if we stop consuming meat, there will be no need for as much meat to be produced. Which means there will be no need for as many cows and livestock to be alive. Cows create gas, and that gas is bad for our ozone layer, and that is what's creating global warming. It's what's helping kill our planet. If we cull the amount of cows and livestock we have, we will not have a dying planet. And that grain can go back to those people who need it most. Farmers will flourish. There'll be all these people, you know, starting industries where they can sell all these vegetables. There will be a big thing for farmers. They won't have to count their money because they'll have too much to count. They will live. And he kept going on about how good it would be. And he just kept bringing everything back, going, if we only cut meat from our diet, we should adopt a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet. And he was saying, I dare the opposition to name me one death linked to a vegan diet. You know, I dare them to say what cancer is linked to a vegan diet, because meat is linked to skin cancers, lung cancer, you know, all this other stuff. He was saying, you know, I dare them to say how bad a vegan diet is. And I also dare them to, if they are so sure that every one of their people will stay, like, who won't adopt a vegan diet, I dare them to each have their own copy of why a vegan diet is so great. And it was his own book. Now, there was this story a while back where a baby who was not even 1 year old died because the parents enforced a vegan diet on the baby. The baby did not get milk from the mother.
What? Okay, it didn't even give it its own milk?
No.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, they basically only gave it certain formulas and only like certain times of stuff, and it was mainly like made from vegetables. There was nothing to do with dairy, nothing like, even if they had like a cow was mentioned even on the packet, like it is to represent how it's going to be good milk, or like just like real milk. They wouldn't even get that. They wouldn't even give it to the baby. So the baby died because it was forced to have a vegan diet without supplements. These people didn't know that if you're on a vegan diet, especially if you're on a vegan diet, you need to have some supplements. Like, where are you going to get your iron from now that you're not eating meat? You can get some fats and I think some irons, like some iron, all that stuff from nuts. But what if you were like me and allergic to nuts? I cannot be a vegan. I mean, one, because I love meat. But
Same.
if I had to be a vegan to save my life, I wouldn't be able to eat any nuts. So I'd be weak. Unless, of course, I was having tablets. But the thing is, that, like, some vegans' argument is that we never needed to eat meat in the first place. You know, people like the cavemen could have survived without eating meat. But the thing is, if we can't survive now without having supplements, as in even just tablets for those people who are vegan, then I think their argument is invalid, because we're not entirely feeding off of like the earth, and it's also been discovered that plants have feelings too. Like the smell.
Plants are gay. They can suck my dick.
But it's like the smell of like when you cut grass. That's actually a pheromone that the grass releases when it is being trampled or cut. Like it's actually something that plants do, is they will release some sort of like pheromone to warn other plants that they're either going to be consumed or something.
Like take it.
It's weird that it happens, but it happens. And vegans are like, no, they can't feel. And I myself had an argument with someone who was a vegetarian in biology once, because we were talking about like testing on animals and testing on humans and all that stuff. I said to them, if we're testing on animals, I believe we should also test on humans. Because why should animals sacrifice their lives and themselves for our gain? And when it comes to like antidotes, say for cancer or anything like that, I 100% believe that humans should be the one trialing it. Like, yes, I agree, maybe the early stages of some cures and stuff can be on animals that have the same effects, and like the way that the disease works in them works the exact same in us. Like, that would be good. But I think after a certain stage, you need to test on humans. And someone said to me, wait, so you're still all for animal testing? And I said, early stages, yes. Because it's something that could also help the animals, for one. Like, if we hadn't done testing on animals, how would we have cured cancer for Tasmanian devils? Like, how would we have been able to stop them, or at least drastically reduce how many are getting cancer on their face? And someone, like, this person kind of shut up. And they said, but we shouldn't test. Like, we shouldn't test on animals.
Be here, but I have 3 diamonds on me.
And I was like, well, we kind of should. Because, like, obviously, if we need to try and cure animals, that's going to help them. But there are also some things which, it's like, will not affect the animal whatsoever. Like, new shampoos and stuff. Like, they test shampoo and conditioner on some animals. Like, if the animals have like, damaged hair, they will test their new formula on animals to see if it fixes their hair. That's why they market it to us if it works, because it fixes animals' hair. And that's like, I think that's kind of fine, because the animal itself is getting washed, and the animal's probably going to like the feeling of being washed. Obviously,
There's an iron sword in the chest if you want it. Like, sorry if I'm interrupting.
Oh no, it's all good. I also believe like they should be kept in special places like that are humane. But this person kept arguing with me that I was a monster for wanting to trial on animals, and more specifically humans. And then I said, well, what? Do you want us to trial on oranges, you know? Let's test this DNA thing. Let's see how much bacteria we can grow on an orange. And she was like, well, yeah, because plants, they can't really feel. And if we can test stuff on plants, I was like, excuse me, plants have feelings. And she goes, what do you mean they don't have feelings? And so half the class was just like, can we not have this argument right now? Because I was arguing with someone who isn't really that intelligent. And I was like, yeah, they do have feelings. All these scientific studies have said they've got feelings.
Coming after him.
I asked the teacher, I said, you know, Miss Young, do plants have feelings? You could tell that she was stuck.
Pink is invisible. Pink
Because
is invisible.
she wants us to be
They're
like a
on
nice,
us, they're on
happy class. But she also wanted to make sure that we had the right information.
Motherfuckers.
And so it was funny because she said, yes, plants
Fucking
have feelings. And so this girl, she was like, how do they have feelings? And
Yeah.
so my teacher explained to her how they have feelings, and I was just sitting here smugly like, yeah, that's right, plants have feelings, take that. She doesn't like me now because I was right. And I was like a better vegetarian than her, theoretically. Because it's like I knew more than she did. But it's like, this guy's whole ploy, his whole basis of his argument was to become a vegan. And it was funny because watching the people clap and all that, they were happy when he was like, yeah, we can end world hunger. And then when he was like, by cutting meat out of our diet, at least half the people had stopped clapping for him. Because they were like, this is stupid, like, you was stupid. And I was telling this to Dex, and Dex was just like, why? Why do people like this exist? And I'm like, because people have to exist like this to annoy people like us. But it's like, we ended up talking, because we had tried to go to bed at like, what, midnight, I think? We ended up talking until maybe 2 or something. And we ended up talking about how, because I don't know if you guys have this, but we have this thing called Return and Earn here. And basically what it is we have, like specific objects. Usually it will be our milk cartons, bottles, like our plastic bottles that we get fizzy drink in, or water, glass jars even like beer bottles and all that stuff, like alcohol bottles.
Be careful, pink.
We have like on the back of them you'll usually see
Pink is actually
like this thing, like obviously you'll see the recycling symbol, and then near it goes 10 cents at a local recycling center. Now that we have this like Return and Earn where we don't actually have to go to a recycling center ourselves and get the money for it. We can go to our local shop like Coles or Woolies. We can go there and they've got these things outside where you sort them out, like you put all the glass in one spot, you put all the bottles in one spot, and it gives you money in return for recycling. So you get like 10 cents for every object that you recycle.
Aqua's here.
And so Dex and I were saying how with Return and Earn it would benefit you guys over in America a hell of a lot, because not only will it help, say, some kids who, you know, genuinely want to try and make money somehow, because there are some people over here that I know that don't have enough income from parents, or the parents don't give them money, and so they will ask people for their bottles. They'll go around collecting rubbish off grounds and return it so that they get enough money for fuel or for like food or like snacks, or they'll save it up and get enough money for a game that they really want. But it was like our pollution, like even just the stuff that's on the ground outside, it has become so much cleaner around here, like so much. Instead of us having, you know, smashed glass bottles on the ground, there's like barely any of them, unless there's obviously been a fight. The only rubbish that we essentially see on the ground anymore is like the odd Macca's like wrapping.
Rip.
But we were saying how with these return unknowns, you could put them over in America, and your guys' pollution would decrease. And I even said, for people who, like, the homeless people, you could essentially, like, those homeless people could essentially go around, clean up rubbish, take it to these sites, like to these return and earn things, and get money from it, and they could go inside a shop and get something to eat. They can go inside and get something to drink. You know, they can get money from it, so they can actually live and sustain themselves. And, you know, they don't have to worry about going to a recycling centre where you have to be somewhat presentable. And we were talking about that for a while, and I said, dude, if they brought them into, like, slums, the kids that literally sit down in rubbish, like that, like how one of the world's biggest slums is right next to this major city in India, and the kids, like, they sit on the dump site, and they go through to see if there's anything that they can sell. They could just go through and collect plastic bottles and anything like that, and return it to these, like, return and earn places, and get money from it, and get enough money to buy grain for their family. It's like, the world needs more of this, but at the same time, that Dex and I were talking about this, we were also very tired. I mean, I told him that I wanted to go to sleep, and he kept me awake for hours. But it's like, it's sad that kids, or not even kids, but younger people, can see what's going on with the world, and big politicians won't do anything about it. And actually, you know what? I'm not even sure if you heard about this, like any of you guys heard about this. But there was this, not riot, but we had a protest, in Sydney.
No, get this bitch out of here!
There were students that were out of class, like on the day.
We're trying to be friends with you and not.
And these students, what they did is that they, started protesting, which it's actually against our law to have a protest unless you have a permit, but regardless of that, they started protesting, and their protesting signs were all about, like, we want the world for our grandchildren, not just for our kids, because it was all about climate change, because we could see that the politicians were trying to essentially ignore the fact that climate change exists, and weren't actually trying to fix the planet. And so all these kids were protesting. And what happened is that our Prime Minister was saying how they shouldn't even be there, how they should be in school. And how it was adult business. It had nothing to do with these kids. And these kids shouldn't even be there. And
who is this person? I don't...
It was weird because I was like reading all this stuff, like people's reactions, and people were like, I'm glad to see that kids are learning about the world and trying to do something about it. And then someone was like, actually they should be in school learning like they're supposed to do. We didn't go out and do this. And someone was like, why the hell would you say the kids are doing something stupid when, oh my god, you've got benefits if you get hurt at work? Did you know who got that for you? People who were protesting. Oh, and you don't want people to protest now? Just because you've already got your benefits? Wow, you're so butthurt, aren't you? Like, people were just getting angry at each other. And then I was having a bit of a look around at, like, photos of the place. To, like, read some kids' signs and all that. Mind you, I crossed the news site. Their photo of this protest, they had, like, people had signs up, and it was, you know, oh, you know, we want the world for ourselves, and our kids and our grandkids, you know, stop climate change, and, like, the world is dying, subscribe to PewDiePie. Like, yes, there was a sign that said, subscribe to PewDiePie. So during this protest, someone had a sign that said, subscribe to PewDiePie, and was holding it up in the crowd, and this news company didn't even realize, and they put that up as their photo.
Yellow's coming, yellow's coming. Please help!
We're talking about politics and protests.
I need the link for timetables.
I don't have the link for timetables. Do you think I would have it after I've graduated? Do you think I would have... Wait, actually no, I might have it on my desktop.
Yeah, because I need because our timetables are up.
Oh shit.
She just told
fuck.
me, but she hasn't
Yeah.
replied to me. So
Help!
I'm
They're coming. They're coming.
I need you to like take care of Kaylee so I can have a shower and stuff.
Right. Hold up. Do you wanna log in? I just want you to like log in, because then that way I can send you the link with you actually logging in.
Oh shit!
I hate this keyboard so much. Like,
See ya.
so much. I didn't put my password down. It's been done.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Please,
Legal English.
protect
Ha ha ha.
Morgan, who's she?
please protect our bed!
Oh no.
Is she bad?
She was my English teacher.
Is she horrible?
She's the one who didn't care if they talked about suicide in class.
Oh, we love that. Mrs. Smith. Who's she?
Dunno.
Wait, so I have drama twice that day? Oh
Drama.
wait, no, I have. Oh my god, yay! Miss Leslie's my roll call teacher. I love her so much.
You've got a double of drama, a split double on the
that's
Friday.
So good, you have no idea.
You've
Retail,
got
I've
early finish on the Wednesday.
I'm not doing anything.
Mr. Butler for retail.
That's good. Mr. Butler's
I'm sorry. I had to leave.
Double of
you
legal
here.
Wednesday morning. Ooh.
good. It's
Double
Miss
of
Grant.
music Friday.
It's Miss Grant. I love Miss Grant.
Double, like a complete double.
So if
They're
I
heading
log in
for-
on my phone, I should be able to just screenshot it, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
So I finished early twice.
Yeah, because you're in year 11.
I never knew we did.
So you've got your Tuesday, which everyone finishes early.
Yeah. Do we finish early?
On the
at
Wednesday,
same
yes.
Time?
On the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. This
no,
this
like
is
on the Wednesday.
okay. On the Wednesday, it's after lunch. So what you can
After
do.
lunch, we sign out.
No. What you can do is you can actually go to, can't remember her name, but you can actually just go up to the office actually and ask for a sign out sheet.
Yeah.
And what you do is you put in your times. So, like say if you know sport here, you will go. Well, actually, how you would write it down, you would go Wednesday A. You will have to type, like in the spot where it goes, early finish.
Yeah.
You will go Wednesday A, early finish.
3:28.
No, lunch. 1:48.
Yep.
So I think, or 1:58. I don't know whenever lunch is.
It's 1:48.
Okay, so then lunch. You would go 1:48. So at the start of lunch, you get to leave.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be there for lunch. And then for the Thursday morning, you'll.
Because if I still want to go to school that day, I can still go to school as
Mm.
long as I sign in, right?
Okay, I'll just let you know this. On the sheet, then you will go Thursday A, late start, end of recess, which is 11:29. So that's when you have to be in school by.
But I can be in school before then.
Yes. And then that's the same for your other stuff because you don't have any other
So
missing
if I go to
spots.
school before
Hang on, let me explain. Now, when you go to school, and say it's on that Thursday morning, when you walk in on the Thursday morning, it can be any time between then and recess. They will have a folded, like essentially just piece of paper like this,
Yeah.
stapled with all of your names on it. You will have to go probably around to that spot. You'll find your name, and what you do is you write the time that you arrive at, and you sign. And that's how you sign in on the Thursday mornings.
So that's in the front office.
That's in the front office. That's before you walk through the student entry.
Okay.
And what they do is they collect that after recess is done, so during assembly, and that's how they say that you're there.
Alright.
Now, for your Wednesdays, what you will have to do is either before roll call,
Oh, there's a street. That's fine.
before roll call, or at recess, you go to the front office and ask for an early leaver slip. And they'll ask you for your name, and you'll say your name.
Do you do that every Wednesday?
Yes, you have to do that every Wednesday that you plan to leave early.
Okay. So if I don't leave early, just go to the library.
Yes.
See
If you don't leave early, yeah, you'll just go to the library. But yeah, so you have to go before school.
The office asks for a sign-out sheet.
Yeah. But you have to get your sign-out slip or early leave slip before school or at recess.
Yeah.
2 diamonds.
You can't get it at lunch because it's too late.
Yeah.
Unless you have an appointment, they may not let
Just
you.
overhearing all this.
This happened.
Yes. But yeah, unless you have an appointment where you go, I really forgot to get one, and I do have an appointment, it's this, and they can go, like, they can justify it.
I'll put that in your mouth. I'll put that in the bin.
They can. It's
Yeah, it's because it's
Oh,
it's
yuck.
hot in this room.
give me the strepsils, and I'll put them in the bin.
Yeah. They're not supposed to be stored over 40 degrees.
Oh lol.
Mine are 58 degrees. 'Cause
Um.
I got the special one. So
but
mine is still gross.
Anyway, some office ladies will not let you out even if you say that you have an appointment. So you kind of have to pick and choose which ones like you.
Yeah.
If you're like Josh and one likes you and is okay with you just going, oh, I totally forgot, then you'll probably be able to get out. But it's a white form that you have to ask for. And usually it sometimes just
Go to the
sits.
front office in the morning then.
But you go on the student side to ask for your early slip. And that's the same thing for your early leavers. You go to the front office.
You want to
for
try
it,
and go to
but
the...
if you're signing in,
Kaylee.
wait, if you're signing in, yeah, for that, you've got your sign-in sheet. But say you had Monday morning off, like you've got that one period off, and you wanted to sign in, before period 2 starts, you have to be at the office, and you go to the part where your parents normally speak to them, and you go, I'm just signing in from a study. And then you give them your name, and then they will
Miss
give you
Kitty.
essentially a late slip, but they go reason for late, study. Like it's explained it's study, and then it gets marked on your thing for study.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I'm just gonna go to school all of the days and then just stay in the same study.
Well, it depends. It's like if it's a really hot day, because you can even just get your early leaver slip and decide what you want to do. Because if your friends go, oh, actually, do you want to like just hang out at the North Mall? You've at least got it.
Yeah.
And then all you guys can hang out. Or if you're like, actually, do you guys just want to stay here? At least you've got it if you wanted to go out. But usually it's like if it's a hot day, some people usually just stay at school. Some people even leave at lunch, and they come back if they have to catch a bus. So they'll go up to the North Mall, hang out, get stuff, and then come back to catch a bus.
Can you do that?
I don't know. But that's the Wednesday.
Yellow's coming, come back.
If you can just take care of this kid.
Yeah, just, if you want, leave the door open. Can you put a shoe against the door, though? Because my window's open. The window will cause a draft. No, I mean, like, open my door fully. Yeah, and you put the shoe against it so that the door doesn't slam shut. Yeah, like that. Also, yes, I totally agree with you, Mint, on whatever
Huh?
the drawing that you did this morning. Well, this morning for me, like the weird person with a very detailed face.
Wait, what?
The one that you put in art hell.
This morning? Are you talking about my time or your
My time. Like maybe an hour ago.
Oh, the thing I traced over?
Did you? I don't know. I mean, like, hang on a minute. Let me find. I can't. Oh, it's in a different section, of course. It looks like a female version of Dawson. The Rock. Like specifically
Oh yeah,
that one
yeah.
picture.
I traced over that.
I just love it. Like
Thank you,
that
actually.
is what Sloth would say is a mood.
What? My back hurts. Like dying vagina.
Oh.
I think I described it pretty well. I'm a broken vagina that looks like Michael Jackson, just a clone.